Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Anime Podcast, your ultimate hub for all things anime and beyond. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a returning listener, we're thrilled to have you on board for another exciting dive into the world of animation and pop culture conversation. This is episode 175 of the Anime Podcast. The topic of this week is going to be catching up with your team and also discussing the hurt of hours of the Nintendo Switch 2 audience, of how we feel the backlash and the pricing, the tariffs, the experience that we could feel in June. Maybe be upset or maybe be the right price. But also we have the Crunchyroll Awards nominations to get into as well. So without further ado, share this episode, bring your friends, and let's make this day unforgettable. All powered by AniMa Weebs Studio. Catch every week a new episode on your YouTube or audio feed. You can always find it on the playlist. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. It's your boy, Love and Peace, Legend Vash, the Human Typhoon. And hey, sometimes when you arrive at the perfect time, at the perfect day, you get to experience a mixed match of Nintendo and Severance. If you know, you will hear about it during Weebs Lounge, but we were here to discuss about it. But I'm not alone. I'm here with the returning, as always, the co-host, Whawkins, the world champion.
How's it going, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and ignorant children of the Isles. What is up? What is good? It is your world champion, Whawkins here, and I'm here just to remind you that no matter what anyone may say or do to you, no matter what they may try to do to bring you down or tell you, hey, you're doing the wrong thing, you should be focusing on this rather than this other thing. Don't listen to those voices. Don't listen to those people. Why? Because no matter what, you always got to remember that the bird is the word.
But hey, we have our returning special guest. He always comes in to fill the spot. If anybody is missing or just wants to chip back and talk with us, the Hispanic Assassin.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Is your boy Crash, aka the Hispanic Assassin, reminding you, chat, initiates, and fellow listeners that this season is so ecchi. And I gotta remind everybody here that if your fellow senpai asks you why you don't notice something other than their body being wet, remember to never fall for the traps. Always remember, no matter how royal they may act with you, that doesn't mean that they'll always be loyal towards you. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Can't wait for this episode. I'm excited to be here again, guys. Yeah, let's get into the Weebs Lounge.
Yeah, for those that don't know, as you see from the title and as you see from our topic discussion, we always have the Crunchyroll Awards nomination discussion. Like every year, we have had it for the Weebs, not the Weebs Lounge, for the Anime Lady podcast for our open discussion, and we're gonna vote together as a team. We always have the time codes down below. As you know, Off the Binge Hispanic Assassin also has a different name. So if you want to know that name, go check that out. He's not here for our week 1, no week 2, and also he's not going to be here for week 5, I believe. So, he is a bit missing this month. He's a busy man, but he'll tell you during the Weebs Lounge of what we've been up to. So for the Hispanic Assassin, like he mentioned, the Weebs Lounge, let's get into it. So, since I'm already talking of what we've been up to, let me just go first real quick. As you see in the background, we have Jamie Foxx and the person that's not seen because of the mic, Cameron Diaz. Who would have thought in a movie in 2025? Yes, guys, we have a movie of Cameron Diaz in what I would tell you is like a Mission Impossible or like a Mrs. and Mr. Smith type of movie, which I will say, it was good. I had a good time. I kept to my deal. Like I said last week on the previous episode, that I'm going to start watching one movie at least, a new one, a week, or an old one that I haven't watched like in 10, 20 years. So the new one that me and wifey chose, because usually when I watch movies, I like to ask wifey like what she's into. And I gotta say, sometimes wifey be picky with her opinions because it's hard to go in like maneuver where you gotta go. Like she tells me, I want something action. I'm like, all right, cool. I want something new. And I want something comedy. But then when you know your wife's taste, you gotta be like, damn, okay, this is not her style. This is not her style. Even though it might be your style, if you start pressing play, you're like, yo, I'm not into the Switch. I'm like, God damn, so suddenly you gotta watch on your own. But we put this one. It was a good laugh. I was having a good time. I really rated it, I think, out of 5. I believe I put it on my IMDb. Sorry, not IMDb. On my letterbox, a 3 out of 5. It was not perfect. It was not like great that you're looking for, but if you're looking for a good action film to watch with your partner and to have a little date night, this is a good movie. Back in action. They definitely ended the movie to maybe have a sequel, which honestly, I don't mind a sequel for this one. I like Jamie Foxx. The chemistry between Cameron Diaz was funny. The actions was great. It was some good editing that I didn't catch the stunt doubles much to see what's going on there. I was expecting like a twist of one of the characters to actually be the bad guy, and they acknowledged that in a way of the writing without breaking fourth wall. So it was well executed in the aspect to actually be like, oh, he's not the bad guy, but he's a guy that's still clinging 25 years later on Cameron Diaz's character that he's still in love with, but he just wants to protect her. So it just like it made it predictable, but with a little small twist to not actually be the bad guy. The film was shot, I believe, in London, so it was very well nice to actually have a different area of the world that's not always, you know, New York, California, like a lot of things going on, but is, you know, London being the area. Good entertainment movie. I do recommend, like, for example, if Crash say, hey, may I get a good recommendation to see with wifey? I'm like, yo, you're back in action. If you're not looking for an Oscar film, just want to chill back, just be entertained by good action. And this was also directed by Seth Gordon as well. The comedy was good as well to actually enjoy yourself. Seth Gordon has directed 7 films. And they've been good. The King Kong one of A Fistful of Quarters, the 2007 film. Don't know about that one, but Baywatch. If you enjoy Baywatch or Horrible Bosses, he directed this one.
Okay. All right.
And this was on Netflix.
Jamie Foxx still back in the flare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I'm enjoying. He was funny. Had a good time with wifey. The next movie that I know that this week or this month is the 30th year anniversary of the Goofy movie. So to wifey, for this week, I want to watch the Goofy movie. So that's one movie that we're gonna check up. I haven't watched in a couple of years, that the last I recall. So I feel like that's a little more to check off the list and just be like, hey, it was a nice rewatch. The soundtrack is good. It still hits for anybody that anytime I watch the reel of the song, or I believe the actor from High School Musical that was playing as him, I think last year in a concert, I still watch those songs. It's still entertaining, still hits. I have a good time.
The fact I'm older than a Goofy movie.
I'm 1 year younger than the Goofy movie.
I hate life.
I'm 1 year younger.
I was just saying that the other day too. Like, we just getting older and older.
I hate life.
Just getting older. And older.
Y'all need to. Can we just stop time? Can we just stop time for like maybe a week? Just a week. Just give me a week.
If we do that, that'd be nice.
That's all I want.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. But I am still continuing on with Lucifer as my TV show. I'm still kicking it off well, having a good time with Lucifer. We're almost done with season 3. So like I'm really hooked into it that I really want to just already finish it. So that's one thing, like, I'm really just getting there. Not saying that I'm getting bored, but I just want to get to where I've seen clips I've been spoiled by, like, aka, Lucifer's daughter. So I wanted to see how we got there on the scenes that I've seen online, that I want to be like, I'm tired of being spoiled from the scenes. I want to, actually check them out. One Piece, still in the process of getting that. But I want to shout out to Whawkins when it comes to, because during Off the Bench in this past episode 24, I shouted Whawkins out because there was an anime I saw that I laughed. I laughed because it was my episode of the week. For those that haven't seen Off the Bench, that is premiering right now, the time that we're recording, but on Tuesday it came out later, which I'll talk about that fucking headache. But the Unaware Atelier Meister. This was my episode of the week of this anime. It's a new one of the season. Short title of the anime, right? But guess what? Episode 1 title was long as fuck, and I laughed because I already have in my notes saying, shout out to you, Whawkins. Episode 1 title. The guy in charge of chores with a low self-esteem turns out actually possesses incredible skills and will be powerful.
You're lying to me.
That is literally episode 1 title, and
Why is that the episode 1 title?
and I love it.
Episode 1 title.
I love it.
Why?
Why? I love it.
Why does it happen? No. There's no reason. There's no reason. Just fucking dude.
I wonder. Hold on. I'm gonna check that. Is episode 2 the same with title?
I wonder.
Oh
if
no,
the
it's not.
translation
Nah.
is just as long.
Episode 2.
I hope it is.
Episode 2 is just his first atelier, so it's just a short title. But episode 1 title was long as fuck.
So it was probably just an episode 1 thing. Okay, you know what? I'll let it slide if it's just an episode 1 thing. But if you get another episode with a long ass title like that,
I'll
pray.
come back to you. I'll come back to you.
That's
But
all I'm gonna say is pray.
Just in Kratos' words, boy. If you know, you know.
Boy. There it is. You really gotta like get into the throat. Get it like really deep into it. Yes, I know what I said. Deal with it.
clip that. Let's go. But that's the one anime I want to shout out to when it comes to relation to Whawkins, and just the title always hit me up. To anime wise, the One Piece one I mentioned. When it comes to what I'm watching weekly, I'm not gonna repeat myself, because hey, if you guys want to know what I'm watching, go check out Off the Bench, because hey, that's cross promotion, and I'm not gonna repeat myself, because what's the point when you guys could check out 2-hour show of us discussing what we've been watching for the weekly season and what we've been binging. So go check that out. But when it comes to gaming, my last fucking thing I'm gaming, I have a little gripe with one shit. Astro Bot, the last boss. I should fuck me up. I should get me tight. Like the last final boss, like you're about to be done. You got the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You're in it. You're on the spaceship, and you have 4 puzzles to fucking get. You get all 3 puzzles, and then the last puzzle that like for example, you're going down the ships, and one puzzle like right here in this corner, and then you swing by it, and then it's actually like you miss it by a hair, and it doesn't count. Now you reach the final boss, and then you can't repeat that shit, and you can't die because nobody else is shooting at you. So now you're like, fuck, how do I get it? Drop was with me. He said, oh, you probably have to repeat the whole thing. I literally lost motivation to literally just fight the final boss, because once he told me that, like, bro, I'd rather just die again or restart the whole shit, because now you're telling me that I have to redo those whole fucking, avoid the ships that were shooting at me, avoid the motherfuckers that were coming at me, and then get the 4th puzzle. If I get to do it, do I have to catch the other 3 puzzles again? Who knows? I don't know. When I went to the final boss, I have to kill him 4 times, meaning in 4 spots. I don't know if there's anything else after, because I only got to 2, maybe 3, and I've died like 3 times. After that, I just call it a break. I let my PlayStation be, go into sleep mode. I don't know if the game restarted or closed off. I'm like, fuck it, I'm good. I'm gonna take a mental break from that shit, because it pissed me off. Like internally as a gamer, knowing that I have to catch the 4th puzzle that I did it, and then knowing that I only have 2 lives. Not 3 lives, even though this final boss motherfucker could repeat himself 4 times, and you have to catch the right type of power up to actually get him well. That should piss me off. Whawkins, you understand my pain, right? Because I know you've been through it.
Look, here's the thing. You just got to do what the kids tell you. You just got to
from last week again? Oh, my God.
You remember what I told you, Vash? I was like,
good.
you wasn't patient, my brother. What did I tell you? Step 1, get good.
I know.
What has Cranky Kong told us for years? Get good.
That's why I took a mental break. I was going to try to defeat it before this recording, but it didn't happen. So by next recording of episode 176 of the podcast is when I'm going to be like, yeah, guys, I beat Astro Bot, maybe did a video, posted my anger, outrage, and be like, you got the 4 puzzle. But then, chat, I still cannot platinum the game. You know why? Because even if I defeat this motherfucking final boss and get these puzzles, I still need to go to the other X, the square, the triangle, the O, and defeat those motherfucking shits in one try. Because it doesn't give you extra life either. No checkpoint either. So that shit is going to piss me off, because I'm supposed to have 310 bots. Right now I have like 280, 90. So it makes sense why I have almost to get platinum in the game. I just need to catch those other ones. And those, I don't know if I'm be able to do it in April. Because if I do, oh, you're gonna catch me crashing out during those. Oh no, I can't stream those.
Somebody said my name, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I'll crash
Right,
out, but oh my
right.
god, I'll be crashing like Bandicoot. I'm like, no, motherfucker,
Yeah.
no.
Again, just make sure you listen to Cranky Kong. You know, he's got
Yes,
the
sir.
sagest of sage advices for you.
But those are my gaming aspects when it comes to anime. Like I said, yeah, guys, could go check out After Bims, TV, Lucifer. And when it comes to my movies, it was a good movie to check out. Back in Action, recommend it. It's a new movie on Netflix. It's a good, I think, less than 2 hours. So, little fun film. Can't wait to see what else comes back next week. Maybe I'll watch Goofy, and then another movie. Other than that, who's gonna go next?
I shall start. I shall begin the next segment of me. Haven't watched any movies yet. Because I want to do what you said, what you're trying to do with like a movie a week and all that. I just haven't really gotten a list together or looked at anything yet. But I have a couple ideas just in the back of my mind. So we'll see when that road
I
crosses.
do
us. Maybe
recommend.
I want. Oh, what? Give me a recommendation.
No, not recommendation. I recommend of how to choose, because sometimes, like for example, you have 8 or 10 streaming services, like on your tablet, you have Netflix, Disney, HBO Max, and then others, right? At times myself, I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to choose. Then from there, I choose a genre. So I try to be like, if I did Netflix yesterday, let me do HBO Max today. If I choose HBO Max today, let me choose, for example, Amazon Prime. So I try to switch it up so I can see what type of variety is coming out within the content. So that's how I'm able to enjoy. So I do recommend it that if you're stuck on which platform, which movie, choose the app first, then choose the genre, and then from there see itches your groin.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be sure to scratch my groin on a good movie or decent movie or just a movie where it's just like, haha, poop jokes, tee hee hee. But anyways, well, maybe in 176 I'll have an update with that. But I have speaking of scratching groins and all that, I have been rewatching Family Guy lately, so that's been really good, really fun. It's kind of crazy going back to like season 1, season 2 Peter Griffin, knowing just like how he kind of divulges into an idiot, where because like the one scene is a very quick kind of joke where like he's at work, and this is like early, like really early Family Guy. Peter's at work and he's talking to one of his coworkers, and he's trying to like hook him up with one of his other coworkers. And he's just like, hey, Brian, hey, so Kent, Brian here, he's free on Friday, he likes going to the ice park or some bullshit like that, and like he's trying to like hook them up, and Ken is just like, how many times do I have to tell you I'm not gay? And Peter just looks over to his coworker, just like, don't worry, we'll get him next time, buddy. Oh, thanks anyways, Peter. It's like short little interactions like that. It's like, it's so charming because it's like, yeah, Peter is kind of an idiot, but he's a charming idiot. He's not like a complete and utter moron that we get later on.
Yeah.
But so it's just such a different, it's just a different atmosphere.
Will you remind me,
Family Guy?
Does Seth MacFarlane voice all of them, or he only voice, I think, like Stewie?
He does Stewie, and he does Peter, I think.
Brian.
So he does Peter, Brian, Stewie, Wagmire, and a plethora of other voices.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, because growing up, I was very much addicted. Well, I maybe not addicted, but I mean, I was part of the generation that grew up with Family Guy and South Park and all that. So with Family Guy, I actually collected the DVD box sets. And unfortunately, I lost all those because when I got kicked out of my apartment like 3 years ago, in anger, I just kind of left them. So yeah. I also didn't really have boxes for them anyways, but that's besides the point. But the cool thing though is they had like commentary on some episodes. And there was one episode, like I got into like listening to commentary for a bit with some things like Family Guy, the movie Step Brothers, for example. I listened to commentary on, which is kind of funny because like half the movie they have like their music producer in the studio as they're doing the commentary, and they're just like making songs about things, but that's a whole different other story for a whole different other day. But like, so one of the things on commentary that like Seth MacFarlane talked about is he said that he actually does voice lessons, like singing voice lessons for each of his characters. So like he like will have a voice lesson where he works strictly on singing as Peter. Brian, there's not much more with Brian because that's his actual voice and all that. But like yeah, with like Peter, Stewie, Quagmire, he actually does or did voice lessons for each of those characters to kind of really perfect singing as them. So I thought that was a really cool little bit of information I learned from that. But yeah, early Family Guy is just it's so charming. It's
If I
just
may add,
it's a whole different beast.
I love when I hear others watching commentary or hear the interviews and everything, because at times I used to feel like I was alone in that boat, because I feel like watching the commentaries from other creators, give comment about the movies, or you hear actors or directors, do little commentary, or you see the behind the scenes of how the project was made. Because even the movie is bad or good, when you see the actors or directors, show that passion behind it, it makes you appreciate more the work that was made or put into.
Yep.
Because it makes me feel like for example, I don't know if anybody here sees, seen the Minecraft movie, but I have a few friends that have, and from what I hear is that it's a shit movie, but it's good if you're a Minecraft fan, and it's Jack Black and everything, so it's good to hear. When it comes to our last week podcast, if you heard our takes about the Snow White, that was a different take where it was avoiding the interviews, the press junket, and all those. So you see the opposite, that even though the Minecraft movie was shit, you see the love and passion from a lot of things behind the scenes and the interviews. So it just shows that even the movie could be like an ass when it comes to story or the direction, but the characters, the fun, the enjoyment, the comedy, if that could still outweigh the bad, to me that's still an enjoyable movie. Like not like any other. Like for example, the Marvel stuff does happen in Disney Plus. I don't know if you guys saw, but a lot of the behind the scenes projects they made, like how was WandaVision made, or how was Loki made, and like those projects were like a good 30 minutes, an hour, but showing the behind the scenes about the director, the actors talking about it. I enjoyed it. So I just love to hear that those were still even being made from about say South Park, from Family Guy, and knowing that Seth MacFarlane talk about it and hear the music producer, because that just sounds very fascinating. That if it's on YouTube, I would love to check it out as well.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, those are just like part of that DVD shit that you would get back in the day, and I miss it. I miss having those box sets. But yeah, so that's been fun kind of diving back into video games. Not too much compared to last week. I mean, I was kind of letting Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga sit for a bit because I was replaying that for a while last year, and I figured, okay, well, let me go ahead and just finish it because I was already near the end. I just had to beat the Kooplings, beat Bowsette and all that, and not Bowsette, Bow. I forgot how they called it. What her name was in that game. It was different than the Bowsette we have now. Let's just say that. Yeah. Very much fun game. Love the Superstar Saga games that I was able to play. I do need to play the new one that came out last year, so that's kind of why I wanted to push beating the original one earlier on. So I'll get into that later on. Anime and manga, I've been watching a lot more anime, so
Nice.
a lot of the stuff in the spring season. I mean, I've been doing. I'm starting the reactions for like Windbreaker, going back with like the One Piece anime and all that. My Ranger, my Ranger reject comes back on Sunday, so thank the Lord for that.
Oh yeah, I saw your tweet.
I've been missing my Ranger boys. I've been missing my Fighter D. I'm worried about season 2, but we'll get to that when we get to the episode. We'll see how that pans out. And a couple other ones here
I have
and
a
there
question.
that I'm just kind of blanking on right now.
Would you recommend for me to binge Ranger Reject like the whole season one? Like, is that quick? Like, is that good quick binge? Watkins, I know that you're a huge fan,
Yeah, it
and
should. Yeah,
or
it's only like 12 episodes. So.
yeah, 12 episodes. Was a good adaptation that I don't need to like read the manga for some scenes being cut or nothing, or good adaptation for season one?
I thought it was a good adaptation for season one. It it did feel it was good. It was a good adaptation looking back on it. So I think there were a few things that were kind of shifted around a little bit, but I would have to go back to see what they were and all that. Um but yeah, I mean that spring anime has been pretty good so far. Manga wise though, I started now this manga actually got an anime last season. Um it's basically the Red Ranger Isekai series. I started reading the manga for it.
Oh, nice.
This like okay, it's not like the best thing ever, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. But it is funny and it's got a certain charm to it because it knows what it is. It knows what it's doing. It knows that it's like it literally puts a Red Ranger in a fantasy setting with all this tech, all these mechs that just come out of nowhere. Literally, that is a joke where like he busts out this giant cannon in like episode or chapter two, and literally the main girl's just like, why do you keep pulling out these massive weapons from out of nowhere? Where do they even come from? And like there's also this bit where whenever he gets into his like Red Ranger uniform,
Oh, the
there's
explosion.
always an explosion. There's always an explosion behind him.
I was
So-
loving that in the anime. Her reaction in the first 3 episodes were amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's just literally like, how does this make sense? And even him, I believe she was in his house. No,
Mhm.
he was in her house. He transformed, and she even asks, "How's there explosion behind you in my house? This makes no logical sense." And I'm like, "Yes, trust me, this breaks Power Rangers logic."
Yeah. Like it's dumb. It knows what it is. It knows it's not trying to be something like deep or anything, but it is a fun story at least. Like it's not just something to be like, oh, dumb humor, herpaderpader. No, it is trying to tell a story. It's just it's one of those series that I think is going to be a good kind of shut your brain off kind of thing. Like, okay, you know what? I've been consuming all these 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s. Like I've been consuming all of this peak. Give me some of that schlock, man. Give me some of that just like bullshittery that can come out of just a random series like this. So that's been a fun read so far. But other than that, I mean, just the
I do
normal
recommend
weekly stuff. So
I do recommend to watch it if you haven't yet planned to. The dub is good. From what I've seen clips. So if you do want to, have a background noise, and if you want to just see some clips for the comedy, because it's been good executed. The scene that always reminds me of that, I don't know if you've seen the same clip, but Power Rangers RPM, when we had the Power Rangers talk to the Dr. Scientist, and the Power Rangers ask themselves, why is there an explosion behind us when we explode? Is that something like that would happen even if I change in the shower or if I transform in the bathroom? He's like, yes, it's part of your explosion because of the atoms come together. I just love how Power Rangers try to add some logic into it. Like, yes, it happens with the atoms explosion.
no,
And
don't give me
You
logic.
have a Megumi
Don't
from
give me the
Konosuba
logic.
behind, like doing all the explosions all the time for fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah.
That's funny.
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't watched that, please go search it on YouTube. RPM questioning explosion in Power Rangers. It should pop up like that. It's highly entertaining. If anything, I could show Whawkins off screen right before we go off air and everything, but it's highly entertaining.
Get your logic out of here. I don't want that in my Red Ranger Isekai. I just want the bullshittery. Just like, why is there an explosion? Why is Gamora a thing? Like, why? Just Why? Why is it that literally his power is the power of friendship?
Oh, it literally
There's
is.
bond power.
Oh
It's
God.
like, oh yeah, dude, Crash. I kid you not. The only way they could defeat this one monster from like episode 2 or whatever, like they have this giant cannon and there's 4 of them, and they like the shots keep missing, and literally the Red Ranger is just like, our bonds aren't strong enough, the beam's not working. It's just like, mother, what, are you serious? And literally like the girl like apologizes to them for being a bitch earlier in the episode. She's like, look, I know you guys were just being mean and I was kind of mean too, but hey, you know what, I'm sorry for coming off so strong. And like it immediately gives Red a power up. Literally, he's just like, I can feel your bonds. It's made me stronger. And then they got on the cannon, and it works. Literally, dude, it is the power of friendship, but it's just
It's so
dumb,
bad, it's so
and I
good.
love it. Exactly. Like it's just, again, it's just that bullshittery that it's just like, yes, just give me that. Again, I, as much as I love my peak fictions, give me my things like this to just be like, all right, yeah, let's poke fun at some of this stuff. It's
Oh, so
great.
it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! With Taya, like, oh, the power of friendship, guys. I believe in the heart of the card. Oh, so you want that? Say that.
It's the best. Look,
Friendship.
it's the best kind of way. That's one thing I love about that show. It's like they know what they're about. Power Rangers has always been like this. The power of like just great timing and the power of friendship. Like if you're a Power Rangers fan, you know what it's about. So it's been. I'm glad you're watching it or reading it. You're still enjoying the entertainment of it. So
Yeah.
Crash, talk to us. What have you been up to since you missed off the binge this week? Since you left us to get a little weapon on your hand.
Yeah, so I'm using a blurry camera right now. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to show. I'll do my best. I did get a new tattoo. I did get a hidden blade on my left arm. It's still healing. It hurts a little bit still.
You wuss.
For those who know, don't get skin sensitive area. You don't want to get tattoos and even more places sensitive areas. Like I have a tattoo here, but also have a tattoo on the back. That hurts. It hurts even more on this area. So just be wary when you get a tattoo. And a quick side note, for those that didn't know, I took a lot of inspiration for the hidden blade because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fanatic, like a really, really big Assassin's Creed fanatic. So I've always like looked at my arm like it's missing something, so I've always wanted it. But I took a twist with it, and I made it a little more to my culture. So I'm Spanish, I'm half Peruvian, half Salvadorian. So I took inspiration from my culture and made the design a little more Spanish in that aspect. I also put the initial of my wife's name on the blade as a thing of loyalty. Like she'll always be a part of my life. She'll always be there for me for any point in time. So she's like my ride or die. So I put that there for her to show, like, hey, like maybe there'll be some times where you won't be there, where I may quote unquote assassinate a Templar, but you're with me in spirit. But I did that. I do plan to add more stuff to my body. I have a League of Legends tattoo working on, maybe with Echo. If you know about his Z drive, I'm thinking about putting something like that. I have all other projects in the works for more tattoos, not right now, but maybe down the road. But I loved how it came out. Shout out to my tattoo artist, Marino and Ink Nation Studios in New York. He did a great job. I highly recommend him, or any projects you think about doing tattoo projects for. I definitely recommend him to do it. But besides that, I'm a busy man. I am doing a lot of stuff outside of the podcast and in real life. I have a personal life to take care of. So I have a lot of birthday parties to attend to, a lot of assassin missions. You could say I'm working behind the scenes. So hence why I haven't.
I'll say fuck them kids.
No. I just been taking care of, when you have a big life like I do, you have a lot of things to take care of. You have, a kid, a wife, your friends, your family. It's a lot of things to take care of, and you're only one man. What can you do? So, sometimes you gotta take that time. As Vash would always tell me, if you need to take time for your mental health or just any health in general, definitely take the time to do that. And that's what I've been doing this month for April. It is my wife's birthday coming up, so I'm planning something special with her with that. But outside of my personal life,
I just wanted to mention, since I forgot, and we didn't mention it in Off the Bench. I want to take the opportunity to also say happy birthday to Gremlin as well. Our man god Grem. It was his birthday this past April 6th. This past Sunday. I forgot until we met up and say, yo, Vash, you never told me your birthday. And they go, yo, what you mean? My phone never told me on my calendar because I have it saved on my contacts to like, hey, his birthday April 6th. And my phone never alerted me. So I'm like, my bad, G. Shit, my bad. So I want to mention it. It was, spawn the moment. Happy birthday to Manningon Graham. He don't check this podcast out, but hey, I want to put it out there, put the voice into existence that the word is said. Back to you, Crash.
Happy birthday to you, Graham. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there for the podcast, guys. Life. But outside of my personal life, when I plan, I'm planning a lot of stuff. But past that, I've been trying to catch up on a lot of my anime this season. I was a little behind in the beginning because life. But I'm more or less catching up to that. Gaming wise, I have finished the first part of the map for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm planning to do a part 4 of the walkthrough potentially this week. Stay tuned, keep an eye out on our Twitter, Anime Studios, so let you guys know when the next walkthrough will release.
That or the VOW always comes on Fridays at 4 p.m. EST or 8 p.m. EST as well. Last previous day I had. So every weekly Friday there will be a new stream out there whenever the game is done. Form Crash.
There should, like I said, life happens. Maybe 1 week I missed, but the plan will still be always there will be content for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm not giving up on that no time soon. I'm also playing Apocalypse on my phone. If you guys know what that is, Apocalypse: The Scarlet Covenant is a mobile game on iOS. It is a gacha game. Very ecchi. My wife hates me playing it. It's very addicting. It costs a lot of money. Try to stay away from that. But
would it cost more than $90 of a Nintendo game by any chance? Just question. Have you spent already $90 in a month?
Yes, 110%. As much as I shouldn't say that. Yes.
Crazy.
Yes, I have.
Crazy.
It has gotten to the point now where I'm pretty sure, surpassed Jokester in that aspect. I am pretty sure. Since he had said last episode that he is not even touching that anymore, which sucks, but it's fine. In spirit, I will help bless him with our gacha, ways. The gacha rolls have been in my favor lately, so I'm pretty happy about that. I may stay away from that in the future because the thing with gacha is that you spend so much money, it gets very addicting. With the times right now with the Nintendo Switch too, you're gonna have to make some very tough decisions. Do you want some hot titty anime waifu on your phone to look at every day, or do you want the Nintendo Switch 2? As the Hispanic assassin, I have to say I'm gonna have to make a big decision. I might have to give that up, but who knows? Right now it's not for certain per se, but if you gotta do what you gotta do, I get it. We all get it here. But I've been playing those games. Movie wise, I haven't watched any movies, but I have just actually bought tickets for Thunderbolts. We plan to watch it, me and the missus, the opening weekend in Saturday. So stay tuned for the review for that. I have no expectations.
Damn, that's crazy. Movie. I didn't even get an invite, chat. When me and him spoke a couple of days ago saying what we're going to do for the movie dates for my birthday weekend. Are we going to watch Thunderbolts? Like, yeah, I'd love to. I will always watch a Marvel film that weekend. He didn't even say invite. Hey, brother, I got you for ticket. That's crazy.
We said summer, my boy. I didn't say spring. I said summer. But that's true. We had spoken about that, and we were talking about movie days.
That's right, champ. Chopped liver is cool. I forgot Grandma's birthday.
Crazy.
Crash just purchased tickets for me, and hey, yeah, man, your birthday is May 7th, right? I got you. You know what? Yeah, you said that you go movies every weekend. Every Marvel word, let's go together as a group. Let's go. And I told him, yo, guys, let's go on a double date too. It's all good.
What's funny? For a split second, I've been talking about your birthday for the longest, and today of all days, I actually forgot your birthday was on the 7th. I was like, I bought the tickets. I'm looking at the thing and everything too. I'm looking at the scheduling, my calendar, and I see events, but I'm just not looking at the wording. So I'm like, okay, bye. So that is my other take. And then for TV shows, again, I'm very behind on a lot of my TV shows, life and everything. So Skeleton Crew, Star Wars, I'm put a hold on for now. Tales on the Underworld was announced. I do know me and Vash had spoke about that a little bit. And after Tales of the Sith, I was very disappointed that Tales of the Jedi slapped for me personally. So it was like very high to a very low. Underworld could be made. I don't know. I'm very disappointed right now with how Star Wars is at the moment. And it's funny that, Whawkins was talking about commentary, because I want to put in real quick that, I like watching commentary, and I didn't have a lot of entertainment as a kid, but I did have the DVD box collection of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. And I watched through every single minute of it, even with the commentary,
Nice.
the director's edition, the commentary about all that. So just as a kid, I didn't understand it, but now that I'm older, remembering it now, it just like, you talking about just made me remember, like, talking about how Obi-Wan was, using, actual, like, I believe they had used actual props, actual sword, not swords, but something of the light to mimic lightsabers. Now with Disney, they use different kind of props, CGI, all that, so it's not the same. But back in the day, they were a little more serious, a little more physical with the props. So you'd see that literally, like, and me as a kid, my immersion was broken. I was like, that's not a lightsaber. That's a sword. What is that? Where's the blue?
That's
Where's
no
the green?
moon.
And
Quick thing.
learning that early on.
If you didn't know, it's 20th year anniversary of
sir.
Revenge of the Sith being in theaters.
Yes, I didn't see the popcorn bucket.
They gotta make me feel even older now. I
remember seeing in theaters with my family. I remember my dad.
Same.
So shout out to my father. Like, he is the one who made me into this, a nerd. So, if there's anyone to blame, if the wife's like, why you like this? My father. So he's the one who put me on Star Wars. He even got me trader cards for it a long time ago. Those things are probably in the trash somewhere.
I'm about to say
But those
extinct
are
because
collectibles.
I didn't even know that existed for Star Wars back then for trading
Yeah.
cards. That's crazy. Because I saw Regal or AMC posting a 20-year anniversary saying that there's gonna be like a re-release on May the 4th, I believe. So there's gonna be like a nicer edition, HD and everything in theaters for Revenge of the Sith.
see it.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, get ready for next
I
week,
might
'cause
see it,
know May the
honestly.
4th be with you guys.
I probably might actually see Revenge of the Sith on the big screen. Like I actually might want to go.
What was the name of the iconic song when Obi-Wan and Anakin is fighting? The Duel of the Fates?
Yeah, Duel of
It's called?
Fates.
Oh, yeah, Duel of the Fates. Yep.
Duel
Duel of
of
the
Fates.
Fates. That will be my top 10 music, like, from any movie of all time, of like a long time ago. Like that. See, listen to that as a
If we
I
ever
was
get
like-
if we ever get into a conversation debate of the best soundtrack of movies, we will be here for a good 2 hours. Like that's like literally a whole show. I love soundtrack. I will come here with Hans Zimmer. I will come here with the guy that did the Justice League soundtrack. I forgot his name, but I love soundtracks. That's literally one of my favorite things. Like that's my make or break. aka Lazarus was a good episode just because of soundtrack too.
Yeah, I will say Lazarus
Thank
had
you
great
for it.
music. We'll talk more into that, in the off the bridge aspect. But I will say, admit to that. I really love the soundtrack for Lazarus. And George Lucas, we miss you. Please come back, because please, I need some good fucking.
Let this man
Star
retire.
Wars.
He's good. He's chilling.
Come back out of retirement, old man. We need
I
you.
would much rather the things that George Lucas tried to put into Star Wars more than whatever modern Star Wars tries to do right now.
Look, the contract for this lady, I forgot her name, which I don't even care about, is ending. I am praying to the gods. Zeus, please!
Zeus!
Better content for Star Wars! We will wait
I'll do
and
it.
pray. But in the meantime...
I volunteer as tribute.
But in the meantime, I haven't been watching any TV shows as well. However, I will shout out my wife. She is watching, I think, the newer season of Modern Family. So when you're going into the kitchen, you see something on the TV, and you're like, "Oh, okay, it's whatever." But then you come right back. Interesting. Next thing you know, sitting on the couch asking stupid questions like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, what's going on with that?" I know some of the characters. I understand the plot.
I have a question. You said new season of Modern Family that's airing right now, or like new season that's from back in the day that your wife hasn't watched?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention enough to
Alright,
ask
good.
that question yet.
Cool,
Okay.
because you confused me for a second. 'Cause from what I know,
Modern
Family-
Family.
Yeah,
it's
because-
done.
yeah,
But
it's done.
I know
Okay,
it's
alright,
the
cool.
latest-
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
It's the
So it's
final season.
just
I assume.
okay. Gotcha.
all right, cool.
Okay.
Because
The
I got
daughter
confused
was
because I'm
graduating was the last thing I remembered.
oh,
from
so that's
what she was
okay.
watching.
So that's one of the last few seasons.
That's like the last season.
yeah, but they're like
yeah.
but
So
they're like
I-
last two or last
yeah.
one. Yeah, makes sense because for a
Yeah,
second
so-
you got me mind fucked for a second because I thought
Yeah.
new season of Modern
I
Family
was like,
came
wait,
out,
what?
and I'm like, I thought that show ended like 5 years
you-
ago.
Don't go onto Hulu. Don't go onto wherever it is and just start. There's a new Modern Family. No. Yeah, Gloria's gone, guys. That's it. We're not getting more Sophia Luna right now. But that's it. She gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's I'm sorry for lying.
By the way,
misspoke.
I haven't seen the
But,
show at all. I don't know if I ever plan to, but the skits I've seen or the clips I've seen are hilarious. Where I think Gloria had a gun and girl was ready to shoot. It was just.
I saw that. Watch the cub, walks away, shoots backwards. I'm like,
it's badass.
You're part of the brotherhood.
It's really badass, and also to know that girl's Colombian, so I gotta respect that. So girl's amazing. Colombiana.
Jade.
Yeah, exactly, Jade. I love her. Also about quick side to tell about Colombia. My girl Shakira is here at the MetLife Stadium next month in May, and I'm like, huh. I shouldn't do it because I'm gonna be there again in the summer for SummerSlam. But Shakira, maybe I would like to go.
Those hips don't lie.
Exactly.
Those hips don't lie.
But think it, look, chat. If I actually do go get some tickets from your wifey, I'm not gonna be seeing her from close. I'm gonna be like all the way up, seeing her from the TV. So like, is it better to see her from the TV?
We're gonna be.
Oh my god,
we're gonna be.
That is not wrong, but like, is it better just be home and just watch the concert from YouTube or something? Like, that's tough.
No.
Can I just say real quick, the way that your eyes looked at the camera when you were saying it to me, like, chat, if we just, I'm like, no, he was just like, yo, he wants to go. He's not saying I might. No, this man wants to go.
I used to have a crush.
No, I'm convinced that we're going.
I would love to go as a kid. I used to have a crush on Shakira. Come on, any kid would have not like. Even there's a song that I love with her and Rihanna. I forgot the song on my head.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where both of them is like in lingerie, doing like some crazy poses, are in a bed and everything. Like, yo, whoever directed this, God bless your soul. That's all. If you know,
Can't remember to forget you.
Yeah, that song. Yeah, that song. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if this. Oh yes, I have seen this somewhere on Facebook. Oh my god, yes. Whoever. Oh my god, that director. I need your name, bro. You're doing God's work. Let me tell you, we did not need that.
Whawkins in chat. If you haven't, just watch that music video. It's wild. But
I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
But Crash,
I'm a man of culture.
Understood. Crash, have anything else to say? Anything else to add for the Weebs Lounge? If not, we could transition out.
The only thing else I will say is the Hispanic Assassin is going to be a couple of times, either not on this podcast or the other podcast, just because, again, for life, I have a lot of plans, doing a lot of things. But don't fear. If you don't see me here, you have your lovely co-hosts that will be able to tell you the nitty-gritty, the best, the worst, the etchiness of this season, of this week. But I'm just ready to get excited to look forward to their next part.
It's okay. He doesn't want to hang out with us. He's busy with live. He said, "Hey, fuck this team. That's it. Is what it is, But hey,
I did not say that. Chat, back me up. Listen, the Hispanic Assassin has a life. He has a wife to take care of. He has a kid to look over. He has friends that need my help. Family that need, help in his way. I'm a busy man. What can I say? I'm a busy man.
Look, chat, with jokes out of the way, we're here to talk about the Nintendo news. But before we talk about that, I forgot to mention something during the Weebs Lounge about my life. And this is a perfect transition to talk about Nintendo stuff, because you know who I hung out with. One of the Nintendo ambassadors, one of the people that's known for the Nintendo Direct reactions, known for One Piece, Golda reactions for the One Piece manga, anime. He used to love My Hero Academia. He used to love Promised Neverland. He used to love many series until they have gone downhill. And his name is Rogers Bass. I hung out with him this past weekend. It was a great time. I just want to give that quick shout out to him because we did hang out, chill. He goes here at the Nintendo store, playing with Nintendo Switch 2 experience. There's a lot of things we've spoken caught up about. If you want to hear his full thoughts on the Nintendo predictions, I know everyone that has watched this, you definitely have heard of him. If you haven't, you probably are living under a rock. But if you haven't, go check out his video. It was a good 45 minutes, I believe, of him answering questions, his experience, things that was not confirmed from Nintendo, But what's confirmed on their website, they just haven't yet announced or marketed it well, or what has not been clarified. But we will talk about that momentarily. Roger's a great person. I just want to give that shout out. It was great to hang out with him. We went to a building called the Bell Works. It's public, open to public in New Jersey. It's an hour away from Manhattan. I just want to say that we came at the perfect time because we was there for a pop-up for the show of Severance on Apple TV. Great experience. It was the perfect timing. He wanted to go to the building because he is a Severance fan. I told him we'll drive him out there. We drove, spoiled, cut up with a lot of things. And one of the coolest things is that we filmed. I directed Roger, a person who I was a fan of, who was his editor and not his friend, and I directed him in a short that people are going to probably be watching by this weekend or sometime next week once it's out. That it was directed by your boy, and he told him what to do. I filmed and everything. He's doing the editing, and hopefully it comes out well, and hopefully it comes out great that people enjoy and watch it. It was like a little nice type of Severance homage with a Nintendo crossover of a bit of music. I believe he's doing Mario music or a bit of Donkey Kong, one or the other. He's doing a little bit of music in the background. Cool experience. And we had a little nice ass steak run star in Manhattan that, you know, some celebrities go there and eat. The steak was very good. The steak fries, onion rings, and everything. And then after that, Roger is heading out to, by the time this recording is out on Wednesday, I believe he's having a panel over there on C2E2. So he's there right now doing Japan time. He gave me a hat from Japan time and then a little plushie from this dog named Obi. So really cool, cute experience. Want to give that shout out. But now that I spoke about Roger, the reason that this connects to is because, like I mentioned a couple of times during it, the reason I don't want to talk too much in details with my experience with Roger, because we spoke about things that cannot be said on air, things that are behind the scenes, things that with Nintendo and other stuff. So I'm just keeping it short because you know what we're here for is the Otaku Big News and Buzz Central, the pulse of our Anime Lady podcast, because we're here to dive into the latest buzz. We're only talking about two main things: the Nintendo stuff for gaming news and the Anime Awards for Crunchyroll. So the first thing is the gaming news. Whawkins, I'm gonna pass it to you here because you play Nintendo, you love Nintendo, and you was a bit, you know, misconfused with some of the news. So I want to hear your first opinion about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
Yeah. So the direct itself was fine because you know you got your games coming out like the Donkey Kong game, the new Mario Kart, you know, a lot of big stuff coming from it, which is cool and all that. And some
Coming back, let's go.
let's go. Oh my god, I was so happy seeing that Donkey Kong trailer. Like that thing looks really fun. Like basically Donkey Kong Mario Odyssey. Yes, please. Oh, and like some of the gameplay I saw for it too already, like, oh, it looks so good. And you know, we got some other things. Now, the direct itself, though, there were a few things like within the direct that had me a little bit iffy. Like the one, and I'm also on the actual like website for Nintendo Switch 2, so just to kind of refresh my memory on some of the things that they released during the direct. And I'm looking right now at their game chat, and this was actually one thing I kind of pointed out like immediately during this, because when you watch the direct, there is some lag during like the camera.
Some lag is an understatement. That was the shittiest internet lag I have ever seen in my life. Like I get Nintendo is so petty that they don't want to add Discord onto their system, but it shows a big difference. PlayStation has integration now with it. I assume Xbox does now. I don't have an Xbox currently, but
Xbox does.
Yeah, Xbox does. So, yeah, they did it first. PS5 was way late for it, but at least now we have the integration, right? You know, Discord's ready on PC. No. 24 people are going to be cursing each other out in a race around the world. And you think it's going to be all positive vibes? No. There's only one first place. And there's one bottom 24 place. So best believe we want the first. Yes.
I'm still salty years later because a stupid ass rock in Mario Party made me lose a duel game to a friend of mine online. I am still salty about that. That was bullshit, you stupid ass. And never mind. Tangent. I'm not going to go on that tangent. I'm glad you brought something up about the microphone that they have too. Okay, so they touted in the direct like, oh, there's a built-in microphone on the system that'll cancel out all other sound around you and will only catch your voice, and it's on the system, not from the controller, it's on the system. And I'm just sitting there thinking, how is technology that good to where it'll pick up your voice and only your voice from all the way on the system over there? I have a microphone literally right here in front of me, and even this, sometimes I have to move closer, or I have to move closer to it in order to get my voice to actually be carried or be heard.
Guys,
or
can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Exactly. Like and this is the thing. It's like I don't want to come across as like a Nintendo hater, because I do love Nintendo, but it's like they want to tout, oh yeah, with like the camera thing and all that. Oh yeah, it all depends on your internet connection, and oh well, it all depends on how close you are to your system and all that. It's just like, okay, you can say it, you can put the positive spin on it, fine. But here's the thing, not everybody's going to have the top tier internet to use for this stuff. Not everybody's even going to have the medium tier stuff to really like have this stuff rolling and all that. So like, is it part of like the internet technology, or is it mainly your system technology? Because like, I can get on PlayStation, be on Discord or their party chat and be heard fine.
I can talk through my controller. Come on.
Yeah.
There's been times
fine.
where on my mic is a professional. It's not like a great professional mic, but it's a good standard professional mic with XLR cable and everything, with a focus right fancy. But for example, sometimes when I talk, when I don't speak, you can hear my wife in the background doing crushing, grinding, and things that involves with some greens, with some vegetables, and sometimes is being heard. Not there on my control, just my mic picks it up, but it's understandable. This is a professional mic. When my controller, like Crash just brought up, PlayStation, Xbox has their own mic, where Xbox has an input where you can put a audio jack right in here, which you can literally be heard and put some headphones. But for some reason, Nintendo don't want to do that with the new controllers. Understandable, with their new ones, you split them up, so now you gotta add an audio input. Makes sense where it might be more complicated since they just already made the controllers bigger. But Nintendo, if you're gonna add a camera, why don't you just add a Bluetooth to your controllers so we could connect a Bluetooth mic? I don't mind if you sell us a Bluetooth mic for your system. I will buy that just to have better audio, just to talk to the people, if that's the case.
Oh, see, here's the thing. Don't worry. They more than likely will have a microphone for you to purchase, since they also do have a camera for you to purchase, because they say, oh yeah, you can hook up any other
audio
camera
connection
to use, but it might work, it might not work, I don't know. But we do have our own Nintendo brand camera for you to use. Go ahead and use that. So it's kind of one of those things and all that. And I do want to bring up a couple of, I think, the positive things that I noticed from the Switch 2 before we kind of dive into like some of the controversies going around. And that's kind of putting it lightly for a lot of people. I really like how the system has a way bigger capacity for like storage and all that. So like it's telling 256 gigabytes of memory. The OLED has like about 64, if I recall. Let me go. I have another tab open for this part, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be comparing this to the OLED for a multitude of reasons. But Yeah, it has where were you? Yeah. So the OLED only has about 64 gigabytes of internal memory. So already we're touting a pretty good memory here for the Switch 2. Great, awesome, fan freaking tastic on that part. Um the stuff with the Joy-Cons with like the magnetic stuff, they eased my troubles with that, like with like the whole like button thing where like you have to press the button in order to get it out. Fine, I'm cool with that. Hopefully people are careful with their switches and all that. And I also like not only like the tabletop mode with the
Oh, the stand,
what's the word?
the mount,
Yeah,
the back stand. That was
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
That I do prefer the Switch
Yeah.
to new stand because I hated the one
Mhm.
where it was just a stick that you pop out and you gotta get at the right balance. To me, that was stupid because why am I
Mhm.
gonna have one stick on one side and like it's just off balance? Like having it on the back, it just makes sense.
And not only that, but you have a charging port on top of the Switch. So that just makes it so much better if you're somebody that travels a lot and, uses the tabletop mode a lot for gaming and all that. And I mean, there's a few other things too, but I kind of want to move along the conversation to some of the controversies going around this. Now, during
Question.
the direct, oh, go ahead.
Right before we get into the cons of the backlash and the
Yes.
controversy, want to talk about the games that was announced at least so far?
Um, I mean, we had the Donkey Kong Bonanza. We had Mario Kart 9, or what is it like? Not World.
Well,
Tour,
look,
it's freaking.
It is Mario Kart
Yeah.
9. When it comes to standard, is Mario Kart 9 plus Cold War 2 now. So they move away from the numbers, which makes sense because now they want to switch it up. So they call Mario Kart World, which I like the concept. What's up?
The GameCube is finally coming onto the Switch.
That's what that's gonna lead up to.
Yes,
Look,
sir.
chat. I want to give credit to Whawkins because last week, for those that know,
I
we
wanted it.
had our episode coming out
Totally wanted
on
it.
174. No, I believe 173 coming out down Wednesday after the direct, and right during that recording, he said it would be nice if Coliseum, Pokemon, and I believe another game he mentioned would be added. And later the next day, he's like, "Oh, it fucking did it! It did!"
Speak it into existence, and it shall follow into the world, my brother.
I love how
I'm
Jokester
just
said he spoke into existence. It happened.
I'm just honestly happy for Whawkins because from the previous week, he has been playing so many games. He's been asking for so many things that, like the Looney Tunes movie that, we were talking about before, got so much money from that. And now we got Wile E. Coyote versus Acme now getting, production getting bought out. Like everything that Whawkins had predicted or wanted to happen has now happened. Like I'm just now like, he's like the Simpsons to me right now. Like he's predicting all the canon events that's happening. What's the next canon?
I can see the future.
When it comes to the Mario Kart game, that's one thing I'm really excited because we're gonna have a direct for me and Drop This Box. We're gonna be doing a reaction for it. The VOD will be on the AniMa Studio Vault channel. The clips will be on Drop This Box YouTube channel, so you guys could check out the content, the splice that's gonna be there. So I'm very excited for Mario Kart World. For Donkey Kong Bonanza, me and Drop also reacted to this. Is on his channel of Drop This Box, and it was a pretty cool. I said it during the reaction. It was Mario Kart Odyssey. Wait, sorry, not Mario Kart. Mario Odyssey, but Donkey Kong style. It was pretty cool. If anybody don't go on Twitter, don't check out Korea's Twitter on Nintendo because they spoil a few things from the game. So be careful, you guys don't want to see spoils. The game comes out in July 17th. Either way, I want to get this game. It looks very exciting. The way Roger spoke about it in person and on this video, it looks almost, paint by numbers of Mario Odyssey. You could break everything, you could collect everything, and it's something like myself who's playing Astro Bot, that when you complete the world and then you cannot find everything and you're missing that one by one puzzle, that Donkey Kong will tell you in a way that if you're missing something, it will let you know even before you complete the world. For me, as somebody who's a completionist, thank you. Because I hate when you complete something, you be like, fuck, I gotta repeat the whole shit, and it was a hard level, you be like, that gives me anxiety. Fuck, either way, you gotta do it.
Yeah, and then like some of the other Switch 1 games are going to be getting some enhancements. Like I know Kirby Forgotten Land's getting an enhancement.
Yeah.
Both Zelda games on the Switch are getting an enhancement. That there's also an app coming out to kind of help you for like tracking a lot of things that you might have missed on your playthroughs and all that. That way you can truly 100% the game. So that's actually kind of a good quality of life update with all that. And yeah, this Nintendo Switch online stuff, cool, neat, awesome.
We
Now,
have Dragon Drive. Did anybody care about this? I know Roger on his video, he
Nah.
seemed like he was okay with it. Me, like, look,
Yeah.
this is literally Rocket League on wheelchairs. To me, like, unless the game has something more than arms that's trying to provide, then sure. Unless they're showing this as a way to kind of not really
Mhm.
review anything yet, but I'm not here for it. We have
Yeah.
3 new other games. There's Kirby Air Riders. Nintendo finally
yes.
revealed Metro Prime 4. Finally revealed
Yep.
more than it. The mouse aspect looks fucking cool. The way Roger spoke to me and everything. I really want to talk to you guys. Cause look, I'm a person who's played controllers all my life. I don't think I'm gonna ever transfer the keyboard. But now, something that may help me transition where you could go from one controller being your controller handheld, and then the other controller being your aimbot, like aiming with you during Metro's Prime. That may help me transition because it's a hard transition for me to go from controller to mouse and keyboard. That's something I'm not used to, so it's hard to transition into that. But if I get a little type of beta, a little mix of both, where I can have one controller is my mouse to aim, the other one is a button, and it's smoothly transition, that to me is hella cool. Like, I don't know how you guys felt about that.
And apparently the transition is, like you said, very smooth, but also if you don't really have like a table to really play or like utilize like the mouse mode and all that,
You could do it on your lap.
apparently it does work really good on your pants. So that's that's at least a plus. Like whether you're wearing jeans or sweatpants or gym shorts or anything, apparently it does still work really well. But still also take that with a grain of salt too, just because just information like that can differ depending on who's doing it. And
it depends on the signal or how far connections, like Whawkins said, because from Roger, he told me he tried a couple of times. He went from handheld to one in his lap, doing it with no issues. So like from Roger, I trust his opinion because also I literally spoke to him in person, but it depends on each people's connection, or maybe once you play the controller a couple of times, it may lose connection. Who knows? The other game was Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. The Welcome Tour and Dust Bloods. I laugh about Dust Bloods because
I
people
was thinking about that.
people was
my boy, what the hell are you doing?
Right?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy they said Dust Blood only exclusively on Nintendo, and I'm like, yes, they're being petty, and I love it when people are petty. They're like, oh, you cannot make us do another game of Dark Souls. Cool, we're gonna do another version of a game like this for Nintendo only. Nobody else gets it, and I'm like that petty shit, as they should.
Oh man. But it's funny you brought up that whole Welcome Tour game, because that's a good transition for this next part of it. Because like so after the Direct started coming out, all this other information regarding the Switch 2, and this is where we kind of start getting into like kind of the fan backlash from all this, because like a lot of the information was kind of spread apart from like a lot of different sources, from a lot of different people, from a lot of different just like either opinions or people who have sources and all that stuff. But the reason I brought up the Welcome Tour thing, so the Welcome Tour is basically like your Astro's Playroom, for example, for the PlayStation 5, where it's like, oh, here's what the system can do, here's what all the
and it's
fun things it
$10.
can do. Yeah, it's $10.
$10? I thought it was free.
Nope.
No.
$10.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say something nice.
You have to pay for the manual.
Yeah,
no,
this is literally the manual of the Switch,
What?
and you can learn the Switch by going around the controllers, the system. It's literally a manual. And look, one of Roger's theories said that if the tariff stuff that's going on now, what Nintendo might do is make the Street Pass or the Welcome Tour for free. Because that's something that if it's $10, they're gonna make no money out of this.
Anyways, but
no, they should anyways for sure. Because I don't know how they're gonna make. Like, look, if you were gonna charge this, you should have charged it for $2.99 at least. No $10. No $10. It was.
I mean, with the amount of time dedicated to make something like that, I can understand. But even then, like $10. Because I was gonna say something nice about what you're talking about with the mouse aspect, with the mouse controls. For those who are not, understanding of that if you want to just like first game technically or first thing you want to use or implement into the Switch 2 would be the welcome tour. And I was like looking into it, I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea, that's not a bad start towards you playing like something on the Switch 2. But to know that you have to pay $10 for that shit, I might as well just figure it out myself as an engineer. Like, why the hell would I spend $10 on a welcome tour when I could just figure it out on my own or use YouTube? It really, with most people usually would do that anyways.
Yeah, it's a weird process. That the one thing complaint that I have, like this is their version of Street Pass, and Street Pass was free before.
Yeah, but so like the main controversy, kind of blowback from all of this though, is just really the pricing that people have been just up in arms about. Where it's just like, okay, the Switch 2 is going to be $450. Like that's pretty hefty for a lot of people.
You're right about the pricing, by the way. I will say I was wrong. I said 500. You said 450.
Well, don't worry. Your 500 is now the Switch 2 bundle with the new Mario Kart game.
Might as well buy it because the game is what, $80 now, $90.
Yep, and that's the other thing too. Mario Kart is $80, and this brings on like just that whole thing about how games are starting to cost more for us to buy and all that stuff. And this led to I believe it was Bowser, good old President Bowser here, making a statement basically saying this is a new way that they're going to be pricing games, where they're going to be looking at the production of the game and what all went into making the game, and they're going to base the price of the game off of that. And it's like, okay, if that's the case, then these Pokemon games coming out need to be like $20, because like, bruh, some of these things were not good coming out, for a lot of people, But here's why I wanted to bring up the whole thing with the OLED though, because the Switch OLED is $350, or was when it launched. Either way, here's the thing with it, like the specs on it are very, like, they're not too far away from the Switch 2. One of the biggest ones here, the battery life. So the battery life for the Switch 2 is between 2 and 6.5 hours. Okay. The Switch OLED is 4.5 to 9 hours. For your hybrid game console, between dock and portable. And I see it. I know a lot of people use the Switch when they travel and all that.
Me, I don't.
Especially people that are always traveling.
Me, I barely, but I've heard people do. I've tried to. To me, as much as people say the game is handheld, I don't know if it's me, but I like my PSP version where that's like more handheld. Like that's where I could put it in a pocket. The Nintendo Switch to me being docked, like if I'm gonna go around and travel to my friend's house, sure. But to actually be in the road, I'd rather play on my phone, my tablet, or on my PSP if it still work. But to actually call a handheld Switch 2, I don't know. To me, it just gotten too large. But I get it that people will travel with it. For those that do it, more power to you.
I was going to say, Whawkins, for you real quick, going into that aspect, right? My question, because I don't really know personally, right? So you're speaking about the battery life. I was going to speak on that too. I get that so shorter as compared to the OLED, right? And my thing is like, okay, so we have this problem with that. Okay, I would assume Nintendo's solution currently is, okay, buy a portable charger, which, mind you, has to support USB Type-C to connect it to the Switch, the new Nintendo Switch 2, to charge you. My thing, right, as an engineer is you want to consider what kind of portable you buy for this, new console, because too low of a voltage, too low of a wattage is going to either undercharge or not charge enough. Too much of an overcharge, and you might explode this battery because we don't know the actual internal battery of it. It could overheat. It could do something else with the amount of, just knowing the amount of life on the battery itself. I know it's complete dog shit. That's sad in of itself that you degraded the battery life to push other things, I assume, like with the resolution of the screen, the size, etc. That's kind of sad, really. Like the one main thing a gamer needs is battery life. If we're using something, portable, like, I'm using example, like the PS5 controller, the latest one, the $200 one, I forgot the name. I'm so sorry. I bought it like 2
Are
years
you-
ago.
No, you're fine.
Are you talking about DualShock?
Yeah, the DualShock controller, the newer one. And this guy has bad battery, and I know this. It's kind of a shame. I spent a lot of money I bought it more for the control aspect, but I have a backup controller, worst case scenario, if it ever dies. But knowing that, I have solutions for that. The fact that Nintendo didn't see that coming, something that they're going to be pushing this console for a long period of time, and they decided, yeah, no, we'll give you shit battery. That's your problem to figure out. It's crazy because they're right currently on the website of Nintendo. There is no portable charger to buy. You have to buy it on your own. You have to figure out, the wattage on that, which if you're not tech savvy, that's going to be a problem because if you break your own Switch doing that and you didn't get insurance on this, which mind you, I recommend a lot of people, because no one ever listens to the Hispanic Assassin, and Vash can attest to that. Please, guys, if you are going to buy a console, put insurance on it because you never fucking know. It could be defective when you buy it. It could definitely something go wrong. And worst case, you got 2 years of coverage. Whether you pre-order with Amazon, with GameStop, with the actual Nintendo company, if they offer you insurance, just get it for peace of mind. You never know. You don't want to go out of the store, because I've seen it with iPhones. You don't want to leave the store. You open the box and it drops on the floor. Everyone's like, oh. I have seen too many videos. I've seen so many. Even with the PS5 release, I've seen people unbox it and drop it, and it cracks, crumbles. As a gamer, my heart breaks for that. And Nintendo doesn't care. They just want money from it. And we are currently in a capitalistic, country, that relies on money like that. So I see where Nintendo comes from with that. But that being said, I don't like the fact that they are using a means of profit to gain while we had to suffer in that. That's kind of a shitty thing from Nintendo. Shame on you guys. Personally, yeah.
And to add towards what Whawkins was leading into, is that the screen size. We have a 6.2 LCD in the original Switch, but then the Switch OLED, we improved the screen quality and we get a 7-inch OLED. But then for some reason for Switch 2, we went back to LCD to a 7.9 screen. I'm like, cool, we got 0.9 more inches. But then in our new Switch 2 model, great that we have HDR/VRR support. For those that don't know, that's tech savvy stuff. Just say you need to better lighting and just better like dots in the screen of the pixels. That's just more to the tech stuff.
You better have a better TV then.
Yeah, to see it. But when it comes to it, like why you're not gonna go with going a Switch 1 version OLED, but then you get your Switch 2 and don't go back to LCD? What was the point? Because now in a Switch 2, are you gonna have a Switch 2 option in the next 2-3 years? Have a Switch 2 OLED? I'm like, y'all just gonna make yourself look bad if that's the case.
And that's what I hate about Nintendo. Like they always have this problem, and I've seen it having countless times where their systems are always behind. Like we can always talk about this console war situation, like who has better console, which is a better thing, PC master race, whatever. But Nintendo's always been like always the one behind, always. And you see it here too with Nintendo Switch 2. Like they had the chance to bring it back up. Now, mind you, everyone, and a lot of people like Nintendo. People are gonna buy it all the time. But is it going to be enough to be like, yeah, it's so much better than the original Nintendo or even the OLED? Hell no. It's there's going to be its flaws in its beginning.
I'll say
it just sucks that we were asking for a lot.
It's tough when you have Nintendo and PlayStation both make mistakes, because Xbox, whenever they have their system come out, is their system X or S. Boom, that's it. But then when you have PlayStation, you have the PlayStation, then the PlayStation Pro, then you have PlayStation Sim, and then you like other variations because they want to have an upgraded version. And Nintendo has
deluxe physical.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. And Nintendo does this too. Like they're the two companies that are not saying greedy, but they want updated version and just to take more money in the stocks or in the units per each system, and it's just annoying in that aspect.
I will just say a quick thing with the accessories. I don't know if you guys touched on that or that's part of your thing. The memory cards. I will just say, as somebody who has worked with cameras, who has worked with SD cards, I understand where they're coming from with the Express SD cards. It makes a lot of logical sense. Technology's been advanced with that. I did see some people kind of like, okay, cool, and some people were like, I spent like a lot of money on like the 512 or the 1 terabyte, micro SD card to put on my Switch, and now it's a waste of money. I even personally was planning to buy that myself, I'm so
Yeah.
glad I end up not buying it because you have a situation like this was like, oh, it's obsolete now. You're gonna have to upgrade to the latest one. So what was the point of getting that $120 memory card for your original Switch, anyways? So it just goes to show like one way or another, Nintendo's always gonna try to get your money. But for the memory card specifically, I was gonna say like I get where they're coming from. You're gonna need a faster processor for the to update your memory and all that. So they are not wrong with the memory card. I understand like that console needs that. The original it's just too slow to read it. So I understand like it's not Nintendo. It's just how technology runs. But still, either way, like I'm pretty sure those memory cards are gonna be so expensive. Black Friday, guys.
Exactly.
Black Friday. If there's an advice for
hope
the
so.
Panic Assassin, Amazon
hope
Prime
so.
Day, get deals. Black Friday, Best Buy, Amazon, wherever is your best friend. Look online for deals. Don't buy them full price. It's crazy.
And just to kind of like push the conversation forward here, because we got a lot of other stuff to kind of cover tonight as well. So the only other two like part of the controversies I wanted to bring up too, because like again, a lot of the thing has to do with like the price and all that, and that's why I kind of like wanted to bring up a little bit with the OLED, because it's like when you look at the differences between like the OLED and the Switch 2, there's not much difference. So why is it $100 more? And when you have like one of your top, top of the food chain of Nintendo come out say, oh well, I'm sorry you're complaining about the price, but don't worry, we're still making the old Switches. You could just get those. It's like, why would you say that when you're trying to push your new product out? Like, I mean, are you just trying to push your old product so you just sell the rest of those? Like, I mean, I guess I get that aspect of it, but at the same time, it's like you also have this new thing where if nobody buys it, what are you going to do then? And it reminds me of something. I think this happened like a while ago with the 3DS, where I think it was the 3DS. The 3DS came out. It was like $270, I think.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And it did not perform well when it first launched. It did horribly when it first launched. And after about like 6 months, it went on sale like under $200, I think it was. And then they started making more money off of it. So it's like, okay, are we about to see a repeat of history on that? Because we know they stopped because this is the other thing I wanted to bring up. They stopped the pre-order stuff. Yeah.
For US and Canada.
Like, for US and Canada as of today,
and whether that has something to do with the tariffs, I don't know yet. I mean, they're blaming it on the tariffs right now, but I mean, trust anything that corporations say with a grain of salt as well.
Yeah, that has not been that is a good statement, Whawkins, because that has not been confirmed from Nintendo themselves. It has been GameStop or a few other companies saying that, hey, we canceled pre-order. IGN did say that it was tariffs, so it was them trying to point the blame at somebody. And look, at the end of the day, I believe Crash spoke to us privately, or I believe on the pod, saying that once technology was going to go up, like I was going to buy a storage system of like, I believe a 20K or 24K. And at the time, I just didn't have the funds. And after that, it went back to regular price. And I had almost $100 difference on that. And there's also saying about the iPhones are going to go up like $300 because of this tariff stuff. And logically it makes sense when it comes to all this stuff. It just sucks when it comes to the gaming or to the anime or like hits to the other type of media where you're like, come on, why did they gotta hit the gaming aspect? And the worst time to launch right now is like PlayStation launched and Xbox launched their systems during the pandemic. So that's the worst timing for them. And then we have the Switch 2 launching during their economic crisis that we're happening around the world right now with the tariffs and stuff going on in the political side. So like we're not winning the best we can.
And I mean, my last thing with it, at least, and I'm sure you guys have a couple other things to say too, but like my last thing with it is just like, if it's going to continue like this, because I love Nintendo. I grew up with Nintendo. I've always been a Nintendo person. Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, all that. I love my Nintendo. But if it's going to keep going like this, I'm probably not going to get this thing on launch. I'm probably going to wait for the OLED version to come out of the Switch 2. And guess what? That's probably going to be $600. But, that's neither here nor there with that. But like it just kind of sucks cuz like there's a lot of information coming out. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of information coming out from a lot of different people, from a lot of different sources, and there's nothing really concrete. And Nintendo's got a lot of fires to put out regarding all this, and I really hope somebody on the PR team is like, "Hey, we need to say these exact things to kind of quell all this anger," because right now people are not happy with this possible upgrade that they might be making. Because that's the thing. Because like at the end of the day, think of what the think of what the main demographic for Nintendo is. It's mainly a family console.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you think of
children
family
and like young
console,
adults play it. Yeah.
children right there. I doubt my nephew's going to be able to get a Switch 2, and that sucks.
If he does, let us know. When June comes, let us know.
I'm stealing it from him. So
I was gonna say I'm gonna say both you Whawkins because like my best friend's girlfriend we have a group chat and they were asking me if I was gonna get the Switch and I was telling them like I just got my new rig system, I'm paying off some stuff, so at the moment I want to get it. I'm not planning to get it right now. What I was telling people was I'm gonna wait for Black Friday this year. I want to see the thing with me right now is like everything right now is about deals. You want to get the best price for the best buck. If you have the funds to potentially get the Switch, mind you, with the requirements, with the Nintendo, like, hey, you gotta have a year, you gotta have like the membership and all that. Like, I don't have that. I have literally a 3-month thing I haven't touched, so I know I'm not gonna be able to get it like day one. So either way, it's cooked for me. But either way, I was thinking, I'm gonna get it during Black Friday potentially because you guys were bringing up that point too. What if something else potentially may come up? So I have a feeling, an inkling that Nintendo is doing something behind the scenes. I'm thinking one of two ways. I'm seeing one way where Nintendo hasn't, what you guys are saying about not responding, potentially maybe because it might be a whistleblower or what we were talking about before, like, a lot of leaks have been happening internally and Nintendo doesn't like that. So maybe they know about it and they can't say anything because if they do, it will just hurt more of their reputation. So they have to take the unfortunately how it is right now with the backlash, with the fans, or they are planning, like, okay, we have this, and maybe in a couple months later, we're gonna have this. We just can't say anything right now because we know something about the terrorists that we just can't say publicly, which could be a thing. People know a lot of information depending who you talk to. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo is a little ahead of the game. May have talk with Bowser per se, like, hey, like like I know something you don't, but we can stay quiet about it. Like it's all about the money at the end of the day. So me personally, my advice for everybody would be like, hey, get wait until Black Friday, see what's up. Like I've been patient waiting for games, for consoles, whatever. Like I love Nintendo too, as much as the next person, but I know when to fold. I know when to say like maybe this is the time where we should potentially wait. And I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is the right choice, not because it's gonna be bad when it releases for sure. Everyone's gonna play with it, the memory, the games, everything. It's gonna be fun. But I feel like something better might come out, and that's just my gut feelings like as a gamer. And I'm usually not wrong in that aspect. Hey, the $500 thing, I wasn't far off with that either. So who knows if I might be wrong with with the Black Friday deal. So if it's $50 off Black Friday, hey, GameStop, I would live.
I'm about to say Black Friday has to go back to being the actual Black Friday. Was not just a $25 off. Was an actual like 25-50% off what it used to be. Because to me, Black Friday is not what it used to be. Like these deals were like, yeah, some deals are great, but Black Friday is not as what it used to be before. Hopefully with this tariff stuff and actually, hey, we actually have a good deal, Nintendo, since they don't barely do discounts. Their game stuff don't drop no more. So I would love this, but I want not saying I'm gonna confirm or deny, but I do agree. Nintendo do hate leakers. They block leakers. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
I've heard. That's a real thing.
Also, one last thing too. Nintendo, if you want some more people to kind of help push your product and all that, maybe hashtag free product and all that, my number, I'll give you my number, my email, my social security number, and I'll take everything I said back. I will kiss your booty and lick your toes and all that. Like I will do.
Hey,
yeah, you know what, Nintendo, great.
We might be becoming a Nintendo product in the near future, just depending on how pitches go and things turn out in the future. We might have also Whawkins or Job be playing Nintendo products and talking about them. They might be in New York in the future watching premieres as well, but who knows? But
just saying, you know,
keeping the Nintendo product short, because we did speak about it for a good 40 minutes. And look, chat, this will not be the only and last time we'll be talking about Nintendo Direct Switch 2 stuff, because guess what? I believe by 2 weeks from now, the next 2 episodes, episode 177, we'll be talking about the Mario Kart Direct World Tour that's happening on October 17th. So by that following weekend, we will already be talking about the new direct about that, because I believe that's going to be 30-40 minutes. So we'll be talking about the coverage from that on episode 177, and that'll be coming out, I believe, on that Wednesday, because we're recording it on Tuesday, because that weekend is WrestleMania weekend. So you'll be guys be getting that episode 177 on the 23rd. Right here on Anime Studio, we're doing a lot.
Real quick for that.
Go ahead.
Be ready for that, because we're getting Moo Moo Cow, guys. We're getting one of the best characters in Mario Kart history. Best believe we're gonna be right with Moo Moo Cow. Let's go.
Yes, we will. We'll be getting 80 characters. Remember that 80 characters in Mario Kart World 2. Know that is. Yeah, thank you, Whawkins. Just know that it could be variations. If you know and want to confirm what that means, go check out Roger video, because it is. Oh yeah, Waluigi. He's Hispanic. He has a sombrero. Yes. Waluigi is Hispanic. Crash. Crash didn't know. Yes, Waluigi is Latino.
I feel like I might have seen it in the trailer. I don't know why. I saw the Waluigi.
Yeah, so Waluigi is confirmed.
To future Vash, if you're able to, make sure you put sombrero wearing Waluigi on the thumbnail.
We'll do a copy. I'll write it down. But yes, chat. So on episode 176, you guys be getting next week some type of topic or conversation or whatever it is. Maybe the Devil May Cry coverage. Who knows? But the 23rd, episode 107, it will be Nintendo Direct coverage of the Mario Kart World Tour. But enough that being said, on the last 40 minutes and less of this show right now, we're going to talk about the Crunchyroll Awards. So let's get into it real quick. We have a few categories that we will be breaking into. We don't have 2 that we will not be talking about, is the background art and the director, since I only have seen 3, and let's not have a crazy debate about something that is more needed. We'll be talking about the Crunchyroll Awards again in the near future once it happens. I believe it's in May, right? Is that in May?
I believe so. I'll find out for you guys. It is May. I have it right here. Like, I'm not paying attention.
Voting's up right now, so everybody go vote. I believe you can vote once a day.
April 14th. Yeah, once a day until April 14th.
Okay. Oh wow, that's next week. That's next
you only
Monday.
have wait, it was a little shorter this time around.
Wait, next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, when?
Monday. To close voting. Like,
close voting.
April 14th to close the vote, but when it comes out, I'll tell you.
Yeah, about 6, because 14 is really around the corner then. Like, hey, that's perfect. But hey, there's a perfect time for us to talk about the show. Let's talk about the first thing. Let me put that.
May 25th, 2025. May 25th, 2025.
Wow, a whole month. Okay.
Okay, a whole month.
Well, there's going to be a lot of votes going on.
So we have the first one, Anime of the Year. Let's go knock it down. We have Danadai, Delicious in Dungeon, Fearing Beyond the Journeys, and Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, and Apotheker Diaries for Anime of the Year. Let me go first. Whawkins, what's for you Anime of the Year?
Are we doing like what we would like Anime of the Year to be, or like both that and what we think it's gonna be?
Both, because both, and we're gonna vote as well at the same time on our personal account. So we're gonna vote. So I mean, what's yours?
Out of this list, from what I've watched, overall, I would probably say Don to Don. Just because, again, just overall, my runner-up would probably be Freerin. And honestly, that might actually be what everybody else votes for. It wouldn't surprise me, but to me, it's honestly, it's kind of a toss-up between that and Freerin. Freerin was really good that I watched, but I mean, and that's just in this list too. I mean, Solo Leveling was fine. I'm surprised Kaiju number 8's on here, if I'm going to be honest with you. I heard almost nobody talking about the anime.
I think it's popularity because I believe because of popularity, because it was promoted on X. It was the only anime that was streaming on X as well, so there was a lot of cross promotion. I don't know how well it did on X on being the first anime to being promoted there.
Well, see, that's the thing. I heard nothing about the season. Nothing.
It was
I
good.
saw no
It was nothing
clips going
crazy.
around.
It was good. Like
Yeah.
it's not, isn't like it. The manga is what made hyped up the anime itself. A lot of people are saying like if you
Yeah.
read the manga, you got to watch the anime. IG Productions is the producers who had created this anime. Also, One Republic, you know the band, also did the outro for it, which was phenomenal. So I was actually genuinely surprised about that. All of it was a good story. And that's the thing. Out of this list, Kaiju number 8 is at the bottom of the barrel. Not bad by any means. Everything else on this list is literally a 9 out of 10 for me or higher. That says a lot. And that's even saying with Soul Leveling.
Which one out of all these is yours? Because look, as much as I love to be
Whawkins, I have nothing to say. Like he literally took the words out of my mouth. I literally would say Dandadan. If not Dandadan, I would have done Freyrin. Mind you, I know this is gonna be a big thing that you're not gonna like, Vash.
My person,
we're talking about season 1. Apothecary Diaries is season 1. Freyrin, there was like the first core. So like
no, for Fearing, it was the second core.
Second core,
second core in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had to choose out of these 6, my opinion, Apothecary Diaries is my vote for my personal. For what I think is gonna win out of this is Fearing or Dandadan.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about did you guys say like your personal vote?
No, it was the same thing. Dandadan, if not Dandadan, it would be free.
Yeah.
All right, next one we got is Film of the Year.
This is going to be a bit of a challenge, right? So I'm just going to ask in advance. Did anybody watch any of these movies in theaters? Because I've seen only 2 of them.
I saw Haikyuu in theaters.
Oh, you did actually? Yeah, I do remember you did tell me about that. Yeah.
But oh my gosh, they messed that up. I mean, I'm anime only for Haikyuu, and even I could tell they messed that thing up. Like that's not the Haikyuu I fell in love with. So just get that out of this list. That's only on here because it's an anime movie.
I have
everything else. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add with Haikyuu. I heard when you review it back last year, you said it wasn't a good adaptation. I've seen My Hero, You're Next. It was just a pure animation fest, not really a good story, but it was a good animation fest.
I think you liked it more than me, Vash. My Hero, honestly.
I don't remember what score I gave it. Look, out of these lists, I have not seen The Colors Within. I'm not seeing the Spy X Family Code because I just haven't had the time to see it.
Crazy.
Momonoke the movie, The Phantom of the Rain. Don't know much of it. Looks really beautiful from the art style from what Crunchyroll shows it, but I haven't seen the movie, but I read the manga because this manga is made by Tatsuki Fujimoto, who made Chainsaw Man, and I know the art and the story is very good. I think it's 125 pages, I believe, for the actual manga, and it was really good. Look Back. That's the one I'll vote just because I know that I've seen the trailer, I've read the manga bits and pieces, and I hope this movie wins. Look Back is very good. That's my vote.
So that's what I think is gonna win.
I hope so.
I would hope that would win because for me specifically, this goes one of 2 ways. So first off, I voted for Spy X Family, and I only voted for that because that's what I watched. If I'm gonna go based on the voting, it's only because of what I watched. My Hero, I didn't think was that good at all. I was actually pretty disappointed with it. IQ, I had heard about that thing actually from your Whawkins when you had told me you watched it, so I already knew. The other ones I didn't watch, but Look Back and The Colors Within were very interesting movies, but I didn't have a chance to watch it personally. And Mononoke, I just kind of passed on it. I actually didn't even know the movie came out for that. That's my fault. But so what I mean by one of 2 ways is it could either be Look Back or The Colors Within. If we're talking more of a perspective of something serious, something like it was like very like touching, serious upon like with story wise telling. But if we're talking like mainstream animes, people who are just like talking about the fan base, it could either be My Hero Academia or Spy X Family, just knowing about how big that fan base is and how much you're going to vote for it just to promote that. I would hope Look Back, but I have a dark feeling it could go to My Hero or Spy X Family. I don't know. But for what I voted for specifically was Spy X Family, and I hope it's for Look Back as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So next one, it is best continuing series. This is gonna be interesting because we just got back to Goda of One Piece. But if you guys didn't know, there's 5 others. We have Bleach, Dozen Year of Blood War, The Conflict. We have the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, My Hero Academia Season 7, Spy X Family Season 2, and Oshinoko Season 2. Out of these lists, I've only seen none of them, but I have.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, technically,
none of them.
One Piece, the I Hate Island arc, I have not seen it, even though I reacted with Whawkins on the last 2 episodes, so that's fun. The Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba arc, I have not seen it.
You're not missing out.
Bleach
Don't worry
Doesn't
about
Your War, Oshinoko
Yeah,
season 2, I
yep.
have not seen season 1. My Hero Academia, I read the manga, but where they ended the anime is where I stopped reading, so I could technically watch it if I want to. And Spike's Family haven't watched it since season 1, and where I read is where season 2 is at, I believe. So that's what I got. If like best continuing series, I'm gonna just be biased and say One Piece, but the one that I think is gonna win is Bleach. Is the one that I think is gonna win for this one.
I'm with you on that, Vash. I actually voted, but despite me not watching like One Piece, I'm not oblivious to know how big the fan base is. So I know if so many people are hyped up for the new arc right now that's happening right now. Of course, I'm voting for One Piece. At the same time, too, the Thousand Year Blood War has been phenomenal from what I heard from you, Whawkins, from my friends too, watching it. Like everyone's been just talking so much great things about it. So I'm gonna say One Piece for the amount of time it's been airing. If it wasn't for that, I'd say Bleach because the amount of time we haven't had it for, and then when it came back like not too long ago until right now, it's just been everyone's like, oh, and with no spoilers, of course. Everything else has been good. It's been like, okay, you're getting season 2 continuing for sure. Like, okay, we're continuing on the story with this and that. Fine. But there's not a lot of crazy substance as opposed to like something when you're talking like one of the two big three, really. Like that's you can't compare it to those, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whawkins, your vote? One Piece?
all right. I'm about to go. Hold on. All right. Oshinoko and Spy Family. I didn't really watch those seasons yet, so pushing them to the side. Go away. Demon Slayer is interesting because this season that they did was basically, they expanded 8 chapters, barely 8 chapters to a season of an anime.
I think it's like 11 episodes. I believe it was.
Yeah, it was 11 episodes.
And it was not that many. This arc was not a lot of chapters in the manga. So it's like, why are you guys expanding this? Why are you guys milking the crap out of this? Oh, that's right, because you guys are making 3 movies to end the series on. Gotcha. So that's just on here because it's Demon Slayer.
So your voting is Bleach. That's what I feel like your vote's gonna lead to.
Hold on. Don't put words in my mouth, young madam. No, it's not gonna be MHA because like I also know where it ended, and it's like that season was fine. It's just compared to the other 2 on this list, it's nothing. It's nothing. That's what I mean. Like
there's substance, but not as much as the
One Piece. We have Egghead Island. We had Gear 5 last year against Rob Lucci. We have all these things going on, and Bleach one doesn't even work.
One Piece had some amazing shot, like shots you don't even see in the movies anymore.
Yeah, the frame
like in a lot of anime movies. Like some of those shots, like from like you had mentioned, the Gear 5 Luffy against Lucci, like when he turned into Gear 5, and like it just like you get this like deep, like this is going with like the sound too. There's like this deep laugh of Luffy where he's smiling. He's like, then it just cuts the silence, and he just like speed blitz Lucci, just punches him the fuck away. So good. But then like you got Bleach that's not only like doing the same shit like that, but is expanding what Kubo had done in the manga, making things a little bit better on that. But I would probably give the edge to One Piece because like again, just some of those shots were just immaculate. I mean, I think back to some of the episodes they were doing where it was like Garp versus Aokiji.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
The slow frame rate that you see it, the version as their kid self, the teacher self, everything was so good.
Yeah. And like, I mean, as much as I love Bleach and all that, my vote would probably go for the One Piece anime. Because like they left Wano and decided to, okay, we're gonna keep jumping up to 11, maybe even 12 on the scale. Isn't that bonkers? Going from 11 to 12. And I mean, that's nothing against the Bleach anime, because again, Thousand Year Blood War has been doing wonders for that arc. But it might just be One Piece, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's what the fans go with either, because again, there's a lot of One Piece fans out there, a lot of toxic One Piece fans out there as well. They are going to be spamming the crap out of that voting.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, so next one is the best new series. We have Danadan by Science Saru. We have Kaiju number 8, Production IG, Delicious in Dungeon. Still need to watch that series. Heard many good things about it. Solo Leveling Season 1, those 13 episodes. Apotheca Diaries and Fear and Beyond Journeys. And my vote goes to Apotheca Diaries.
I'm gonna be. I had said this before on my social media. I'm gonna say it to you guys now. I'm gonna be saying a lot of Dandadan here.
That's fine.
It's just my grading. For a new series, right? Again, Kaiju is at the bottom of the barrel. It was good, but between this and everything else, it was fine. Everything on this list is either 9 or above. But of the top is Dandadan. Baron doesn't even come close to this. Like it. And I said it before on the Off the Binge podcast. Dandadan for me was just it got better and better and better and better. I have never in my life of watching anime seen an actual animation that has just gotten so much more better. It had made me cry, it made me jump out of my seat, it's made me scream, it's made me happy, it's made me sad, angry, all of it, all once in 12 episodes. And I was telling my wife about this the other day too, that I seen this with Vash in theaters, the first 3 episodes. The first episode alone, the first 20 minutes watching that, got me out of my seat because Momo got up, with the aliens and everything, and she almost got borderline, the 4-letter word I can't say out loud, but just that just like, going no context into it, not knowing what it's all about, not reading the manga, kind of like, what the fuck is this? And then you just watch the animation. I recommend this anime every time to everybody. It has a little bit of everything for everyone. It's so good. I can't wait for the new season coming out this summer. Everything else here, Delicious in Dungeon was great. Fury, Apothecary Diary, Soul Leveling, all of it was good. But Dandadan just has a special place in my heart where I tell people, like, when you have an anime that just gets better and better, you just can't say no to it, and you can't just look at anything else away.
All right. Yep. You, Whawkins, what's yours?
I mean, Crash basically took the words out of my mouth.
All right.
I mean, it's gonna be Dandadan. Like that's gonna be a trend.
Yeah, so we have Dandadan winning best new anime, and I have myself Apotheca Diaries. To me, is the better show with much better lore. Opening is better as well. When it comes to Apotheca Diaries, it was very good. I give over that. We have the best new series. Sorry,
wait till we get to opening.
Best original anime. Sorry, best original anime. We have Buchigiri, Metallic Rogue, Girls Band Cry, Ninja Kamui, and Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, and Train to the End of the World. I cannot say anything in this segment. I didn't watch any of these, so I have no comments. I have heard of Ninja Kumai. I believe that was on Amazon or Netflix or something like that, but I don't know too much of it, so I can't even avoid here. Crash, have you seen any of these, or do we skip this one as well?
I have seen 2 of these. But at the same time, I haven't seen 2 of these. And let me explain. So these original animes is what I was telling you guys about, that these are the underdogs that are not like mainstream animes, but a lot of people have either talked about it or is actually highly rated. Now, of these, what I have remembered, 3 of these animes, which is Jellyfish Cannot Swim in the Night, Girls Band Cry, and Buchigiri, have high rated reviews on Mal and AniList. The other 2 at the very bottom are again, I'm just talking numbers wise, are either mid or trash. So Metallic Rouge was a anime that I had on my list. I planned to watch. I watched the trailer. Prior to me being on the Off the Binge podcast, I have my 6 week thing before I do hot or flop, and then I see if it's worth watching. And I saw that it was just not it, so I let it go. I'm actually surprised it's actually on this list. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night is something I have on my to watch list. I have seen the trailers for it. I have seen great things about it. It's like an 8 point something on Mal right now. If you're looking for a very good, I wouldn't say wholesome, but a very endearing story about adolescent girls who are just trying to make it through in life, dealing with their situations. Whether you're trying to be becoming a VTuber, a singer, a musician, anything of the light, entertainment. This is definitely a low key anime that like not a lot of people talk about, but like it's really well good. It's really well animated.
So which is your vote?
I did Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. If not that, I would have done Buchigiri because a lot of people were talking about it's similar to, not really, but really similar to Wind Waker, kind of with fighting. And I was kind of like, I didn't see the appeal at first. So that's why I was going to be like, if you want fighting, go watch it, I guess. It's done by Mappa. So I know some people who want to go. Yeah, take that as you will. Like some people like it, some people don't.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
so-
I got you.
So, all right, so that's a good choice for the best original anime. But let's move on to best animation because I know we're gonna probably repeat this one with the same. Like I said earlier, we have Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling,
Wait,
Cat
should we
Universe.
say it in 3?
Should we say it in 3? Furin. All right, are we all don't have the same vote? 3, 2, 1. Dandadan.
Dandadan.
Okay.
Hey.
I want to make sure I'm like looking back at my old list. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did Dandadan. Yes. Best animation Dandadan.
I mean.
Yeah. So
First of all, why the hell is Demon Slayer in there this season? What the hell?
Okay, I will tell you
Was
why.
it because of the last shot? Was it because of the last final shot?
I will, and
that was probably the last final shot. I'm like,
look, when I see the Hashira,
all of Dandadan. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm like,
it's him, it's Hazara. I'm like, yo, I was out of my chair. I was like, what? Yeah, no, done.
Anyway, best character design.
Apothecary Diaries. I did actually done that. I actually went with Mao Mao. I actually thought about like when I look into character design, I was like,
I will agree. But Darius had a really good character design with the expression of the character.
When I think about that, I think about Mao Mao's eyes.
Yes, there's one scene. There's one scene when Master Jinshi asks about Lao Khan, she literally that turn of dark eyes animated and just saying, "Don't speak of him, don't talk about him," and like just saying, "Don't ever mention his name once in my life."
I know what you want to about. Yes,
I think this was like episode 17. The top of my head, I remember.
Yes,
like I believe it was episode 17, 19 around there. And in season 2, they're doing better with the fucking expressions of the character design, so good as well. So I highlight. Great choice. As much as it does.
When it comes to character design, like I think Dandadan will win because I mean this kind of feels like a Dandadan award show right now. But like the other one I want to shout out there. I know I didn't really watch the show, but I've seen enough clips and still shots from it. Delicious in Dungeon. That had some really good character designs in it.
It is honestly
like each party member looks very unique. All the monsters that they fight look like exactly what you would see in this kind of world and all that. Like from like what was it, like the sirens? There was the girl that like turned into like this giant bird thing.
I gotta speak. Like all I'm gonna say is right.
Yeah.
If you guys plan to watch it, there's 2 courses to it, 24 episodes.
Yeah.
The first half is wholesome. It shows about cooking, eating in the dungeon, and everything like that. And then at the very end of the first core, it makes a big plot twist out of nowhere. Like nobody sees that coming. I didn't even see that coming. And then from there, it goes straight dark. Like it goes from like wholesome, funny, cool, and it's just straight like dark, evil, bloody. Like the mood changes significantly, and like you see that. Like the photo for it too is from the second core. It's not even the first core. So between the first photo of the posters and the second one, you see that difference, and it's like, oh, they're not happy. Like shit's going down. And even to that now, the second season has come. There's still so much more to go into that, but I don't know. Character design is a little bit like personal preference. Everyone has their nitty.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I'm pretty sure Don, you're right, might win that.
It most likely might win it because of them. I believe there's once like a couple times of him talking, and the design is like his mouth and chin is like right here, and he was trying to do a little comedy scene. It was good character design. So when it comes to that point blank, it might be done and done. But hey, the next 2 lists from the Crunchyroll Awards was Best Director and the Background Art. I voted for them on my side, but we're not going to talk about it here. But if you want to talk to us and let us know which one you voted, comment down below in the comment section. Let us know. I chose for Best Director. It was Apothecary Diaries, Fan Letter, and Dandadan was good choices. I have not seen the other 3, so can I add? But the next one is Best Romance. We have A Sight of Affection. Ron Mana have Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Blue Box, Maki, Too Many Losing Heroines, and The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. So Crash, go take off, because I know you're gonna have some words, because know that we're not time crunch. We have a less than a 20-minute show, so just talk to us.
60 seconds. I've seen everything here minus Ramna 1.5. Signs of Affection was great. Blue Box 10 out of 10. Makin Too Many Losing Heroines season 2 got announced. I'm so happy. I was afraid that it was gonna be just like that. I was very upset. So I'm glad I got season 2. I was very torn because I was expecting a little bit more of a variety for a romance, and I didn't get that. I got this. So my choice between Blue Box, Core 1, and Dangers in My Heart season 2 part 2. So to that, I gave it to the Dangers in My Heart season 2 because that was the first 10 out of 10 I gave that year before I gave it to Blue Box. If we're going based on time, like what came first. So the way that it ended was so wholesome. I'm glad they're going out. I can't wait for the OVA or movie, whatever comes out with that. It went to Danger My Heart. It was so touching. It was so cute. I love how it ended. It's a very wholesome romance at all. Not to shit on Blue Box at all by any means. It's still going on, but Danger My Heart left something in me that I definitely recommend for you guys definitely to watch.
Look, when it comes to Blue Box Core 1, I will definitely vote for it, but I'm gonna be different. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is my choice for best romance in this conversation. We had a different perspective when it comes to our character of Scott and Ramona. We had a different ending, a different animation. We have time travel, a little bit of mixed in. Some people had mixed opinions about it. I like the art style. The animated side of it was really fun to see. That's all. It was a good romance, and they fuck in the first episode, so that was fun.
I thought it was cute. I saw the controversy with that. It was okay for me. I didn't think it was a bad anime by any means. Do you know they're gonna have more in the future? I think that was it, right?
That is possibility.
I think.
But I don't think so. But if you want to have more and have a good laugh, we have the best comedy next. We have Delicious in Dungeon. We have My Dear Friend Nokoton. We have Konosuba, God's Blessing to This Underworld 3. We have Ranma Half. We have Masho, Magic and Muscles, The Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. That's a long ass title. I didn't know it was called that. Spy X Family season 2. So I cannot give any opinion in this because I only seen one, and which was My Dear Friend, and I only seen 6 episodes, I believe, or 5. I just never got around to finish it. But it makes me more. The more we go through this list and chat, I've been going blind. I didn't see this list until us, talking about it live. The Delicious in Dungeon makes me want to actually binge watch it, to actually check it out before May comes around. I'm gonna try to watch a lot of these 2024 shows before the awards, so I can actually give a better opinion or probably vote better when the time comes around. But Crash, since you've seen probably these, to be answered real quick.
Again, the only thing I didn't see was Remnant 1.5. It was kind of a no-brainer. Konosuba was just so hilarious. Delicious in Dungeon was funny. My Dear Friend Nokotan got boring after episode 6.
Damn, so it's crazy. It got boring after I drop it. I mean, after I pause it.
Yeah. Mashle was not funny to me at all. It tried to be funny. I don't see the appeal to it. I mean, I watched it. It's whatever for me. And Spy X Family is kind of in the same boat now. It like the same abuse jokes gets tiring after a while. But Konosuba, I'm gonna get into that later. But I'm gonna just say that much. It's the jokes always hit. It never not gets boring with this anime.
Yeah, so
it's Konosuba. I mean, darkness is right there. My girl. My other girl, Aqua. Shout out to you as well. But man, it's always. I
can't vote on this one. So far I've only voted 8 categories. I've only voted. So since we have that list of Konosuba, let's go for the best action. We have Bleach, Kaiju, Solo Leveling, Demon Slayer, and Windbreaker. We finally see Windbreaker from Whawkins. So which one do you think will be the one that will win, and which one is your personal opinion?
Bleach.
Yeah, I have Bleach for 2. Mind you, I'm not up to
it. It is. Yeah. It's Bleach. It's Bleach. I don't give a shit about. I mean, it might be Dandadan too, because the whole Dandadan sweep thing we talked about earlier. Demon Slayer again. It was a training arc.
Yeah, that one I don't get. Really? How where's the action in that part? Windbreaker, I guess. Solo Leveling was good action. That's one thing good.
Yeah.
For me, my opinion is gonna be either Solo Leveling or Bleach for my choice. since I've only seen Solo Leveling, I'll probably choose that one. But which one I think that should win is Bleach, because even though I didn't watch this arc, I read this arc, but it goes to a lot of fights, action. Ichigo, I've seen a lot.
They added fights.
Yeah, they added fights too.
They added Ichigo versus Uryu in this arc. Nah, it's fucking Bleach. Don't add me with
Windbreaker
that.
is a good contender because it's just all hands, all smoke. So I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But Bleach is just a whole. Again, you're talking about one of the big three. Like,
I can't wait for this next one. I just saw the cat the nominations.
You got greedy, didn't you, my boy? I told you to wait.
Well, I just pressed next just to be already there, but then it pops up the name like, oh, this one. Like, I didn't fully read the categories, but I'm just like, I see.
This one's a strong one.
You know what? Let's just go to it. Crash, you put your opinion already, right? For
Bleach, for sure. Action's going to be Bleach. I'll be surprised if it's not. We're going to be very mad if it's not. But let's go to the next one, the very juicy one.
Chat, let's talk about it. We have the best Isekai. As you know, from Off the Bench or Anime Lady Podcast, I am known as the Isekai fanatic, or the fantasy will read any long title series or no. The options we have here is Konosuba God Blessing in a Wonderful World 3, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Core 2, Suicide Squad Isekai, and ReZero Starting Life in Another World Season 3, and The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3. I'm going to tell you now, I have not seen any of these 5 other than Suicide Squad Isekai. I've only seen 5 out of 10. The Slime Season 3 I have completed, and that's going to be my vote. I have not seen Shangri-La, no Konosuba, Mushoku Tensei. I will be finishing it this year. ReZero as well this year, so I have no thoughts. Maybe I'll do my best to try to catch up to it by the Crunchyroll Awards in May 25th, but who the fuck knows, because that's me committing, trying to do Shangri-La and Mushoku Tensei ReZero. But my vote for this one is going to be The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, but I'm sure it's not going to be the one that's winning. Most likely the one that's winning is either ReZero or Mushoku Tensei. That's either of the two that'll be winning this award. But my personal opinion, my vote is gonna go to Slime Season 3. I enjoy it. We finally see more world. This man Rimuru is getting more money. He is becoming a literally king within his nation, and I can't wait for Season 4 in the next movie. That's all I got. How about you, Whawkins? I know you was waiting for this conversation for this category.
Well, I got to ask something. Is Shangri-La Frontier even an isekai? Because isn't that just a video game?
So so it's weird that it's here. I appreciate you for asking that question, because it's technically like Sword Art Online. You're being transported to another world with the headset, the VR concept, and you go into a virtual world. But I'm guessing they put it here because he's being transported to another world. But he goes to like multiple games because they have access to the games that they've shown us. But he doesn't die by Truckun and gets reincarnated like Mushoku Tensei, like ReZero, like Suicide Squad. Even though they didn't really die either, they got into like another fantasy world.
He died by Truckun, by the way.
Yeah. And Slime also got killed by Truckun. So I do get the point that Suicide Squad and Shangri-La, they don't really need to be here because they're not really technically a Isekai. They're more fantasy's world, yes, but I don't think Crunchyroll is gonna make a fantasy and an Isekai category. I feel like that's more conjoined. People will argue, but with Shangri-La, good opinion. But how you feel?
So like with Shangri-La and Suicide Squad out of here because fudge all that, and I need to catch up with Shangri-La. Same with Slime too. I need to actually watch that.
I do recommend it. So good, really good binge. You have 64 episodes, I believe, or 62 episodes, and all of it's dubbed in a movie.
Hell yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if that won, because I know the fan base is very high on that.
If it does, I'll be so hyped.
Me. Yeah. Same with ReZero. Because I'm currently on like a ReZero rewatch with season 1 and rewatching half of season 2 and catching up to the anime from there. So it wouldn't surprise me if ReZero won either. And I mean, Konosuba is what it is. I, however, have an agenda when it comes to Mushoku Tensei. Like that would be getting my vote, because especially what they do in Core 2, because that's when like Rudy, I can't really say much without spoiling
Yeah,
it.
spoil it,
but
and
there-
like you don't want to spoil me who's gonna literally watch it soon.
Don't do it.
So like, please.
There was a controversy with it with some people, which sucks because like you get no context from the light novel that like my friend Eden's told me about with like the context, and then I watched the episode again and I'm like, wait, why didn't they add any of this into the anime to make it just not as bad?
If you're talking about what happened in season 2, I think I know what you're talking about because I had seen or heard something about that as well.
Yeah.
Don't know, but I know
like-
those are good choices. We have Moshoko
Yeah.
Tensei and ReZero from you, and they're
Yeah.
good choices. Again, Slime 3 hopefully wins because I love Slime. You know,
Mhm.
Rimuru. There's
Wouldn't
plushies
surprise
of him and everything, so I wouldn't be surprised. How about you, Crash? What's your vote of Isekai who don't watch Isekai?
No, surprisingly, I've seen 4 of these animes. The only one I didn't see is Shangri-La Frontier. I'm not planning to watch it at all. That time I got Reincarnated Slime, I was recommended to you. It's on my to-watch list. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. The only other ones I've watched was Suicide Squad, Isekai, which I just want to mention. That was originally on Max. That was not on Crunchyroll. So I don't know why the hell it's on this list anyways. But it's still, like Whawkins said.
I think they have like a partnership. or
Yeah,
something, so-
and also there's a few shows that's also on Netflix that's not on Control, so they're here.
Delicious
So
in Dungeon is
Yeah.
also on Netflix.
So,
But again, that's the whole thing for me. But the main 3 for me is Konosuba, Mushoku Tensei, and ReZero. So
you don't count for ReZero, sir. I'm sorry. Like we do for you for Off the Bench. You don't count for ReZero, so you do not count.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Grim. I did this for him specifically.
I know.
actually voted for ReZero. I voted for ReZero.
So, sir,
I
on
love
this
Konosuba.
vote that you do watch, which one do you put? Even though you don't watch ReZero, like me, I cannot. Even though I watch ReZero first 3 episodes of the director's cut, I cannot count season 3. So, like
Bash,
you
I have
did.
one
Well, then,
episode
since we're
left
going
in the
based on that
director's cut. I
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
one episode left in that. You have no. You.
Don't tell that this Graham, don't tell this Graham because he'll come at me. Don't tell this to him.
He's gonna listen to this. I'm gonna give him
He
the
is
time
gonna listen
code
to
for
this.
this part.
You know what?
No.
My thing stands ReZero. I love
Okay.
Mushoku Tensei. I love Konosuba, but I just feel
All
like
right.
ReZero's been hitting a lot.
Let's move on because we have 14 more before we end the show. So let's get to it. We have the best
Yeah.
drama. You know what? Here goes somebody else. Speak about the next 14 so I could take a breath of me speaking. What are the 6 for best drama?
Me? Him?
Anybody?
I'll go. So we get the 6 nominees for best drama is A Sign of Affection, Dead Demons, DDD Destruction, Freer and Beyond Journeys End, Johoshi no Ko Season 2, Pluto, and Apothecary Diaries.
Apothecary Diaries on my end. I'm gonna just keep it simple. Apothecary Diaries. I'm not seeing Pluto. I've heard about Pluto. I believe it was a show that we were gonna probably review on Anime Podcast, or it was an option last year. I have seen the jokes of the demon destruction. I keep thinking that. Thank you. I was literally about to say that. Every time I word think of the I think it's time to do. But Apothecary Diaries was a good drama. I enjoy it. I binge watched it with Wifey this past year, December. It was a good binge. That's all I got.
I'm a Vash. The drama on the season 1 alone was phenomenal. Like you just were kind of like, oh.
How about you, Whawkins?
I mean, out of the stuff I actually watched, like all the way through, I watched Freer in, so that would probably get my vote. Oshinoko, I wouldn't be surprised if that or Apothecary Diaries won. Just again, just being in the zeitgeist and just the anime sphere, those were really the ones that I heard the most about. So yeah,
All right, so we
I
got
mean,
the next one.
y'all got
Yes.
the next one. Y'all got the
I
next one.
got
Alright.
you with that.
All right, so we
best slice
got
of
the
life.
best of slice of life. Talk to me, Crash.
We got Laid Back Camp Season 3. We got Mackin' and Too Many Losing Heroines. We got Mr. Villain's Day Off. We got My Dear Friend Nokotan. We got Sound Euphorium Season 3. And we got The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. I'll just say right now, honestly, I have seen only 2 of these animes. 3 of these animes, excuse me. But I gave it to Laid Back Camp Season 3. There was a clip. All I'm going to say is if you just want to watch something like really chill, just like in the background or something like that, even dope too, Laid Back Camp. So simple. It's so nostalgic, but also really nice. Like, it's not like a bother to anybody. I definitely recommend it.
I can't add anything. I didn't watch any of these for the slice of life when it comes to these options. So let's go on to the best main character then. We got Furion, Okaru, Mao Mao, Kafka, Momo, and Sung Jin Woo. Who we got?
Best main character.
I got Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries. Come on, guys.
See, this one's kind of hard because, like, for some of these characters, it's like I know where your character goes, but you kind of have to base this off of season 1, and it's like I can't really vote for like Momo and Okarun right now because season 1 they don't develop too much.
They don't do much.
You don't see romance enough. It's too soon.
Sir, tranquilo, all right. As a character, they're not there much. They're still learning. Like, we have Momo who can't even say Okarun's actual name, where Crunchyroll even wrote Okarun. We don't have his actual birth name.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't got his birth name.
It's
kind of the same with Frieren too, because like I feel like she has a lot more to kind of like dive into when it comes to later seasons with like her whole thing of, you know, living as long as she does and, you know, what would the great hero Himmel do and all that stuff. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to dive with her. Sung Jin Woo, I mean, I know where Jin Woo goes and ends up with a lot of things. And honestly, like his biggest growth is just when he turns into like little weak baby to, oh, I'm actually him.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Look.
So I might agree with the Mao Mao thing because like she's one I heard a lot of good things about, and I mean I did watch episode 1 at least of that show.
And you also did kind of lurk with me when I was watching season 2, like episode like 10 in dub. So you was like there lurking. You're like, oh my god, this is interesting. I'm like, yes, it's really good.
Yeah.
But I love how Whawkins was like, I need to finish season 1. I'm like, get off my stream then. Yeah. I was like, don't spoil yourself. But I have to agree with my bias, my inner me head enemy will peak Sung Jin Woo, arise, or wakey wakey, or erect, if you know, you know. But when it comes to Mama, I 100% agree when it comes to this vote. So let's get on to our next one is best supporting character.
Best supporting character.
We got, Whawkins, tell us, what are the best supporting characters?
We've got Fern from Frieren. We've got the great hero Himmel from Frieren. We got Jin Shi from Apothecary Diaries. We've got Psycho from Dandadan. You know, Lady Psycho, all hail. We got Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, and coming up from the rear, loving to gobble on some slogs, is Turbo Granny from Dandadan. Again, for like a lot of these, for like some of these, it's just like there's a lot left on the table because I know what happens later on with like the Dandadan ones. I'm like, I can't vote for them for season 1 just because it's only season 1. So it's like I have to base it off of those. I would probably maybe go for Himmel.
Okay.
Mainly because of just the legacy he left behind in the show, and you start to kind of see that, you know, what he left behind and like the person he was really kind of started to form this world that Frieren now roams with Fern. Fern would also be a good one too, because like she's kind of one of those like very, I don't want to say she's very quiet character, very like kind of reserved character in a way. And like especially the end of the season too, like the season finale, like she has to make a choice of like, oh, what do I want to learn from this thing? And the spells she learns from like this grandmaster of magic it's kind of heartwarming in a way, and it's something that's just like, man, you know what, that's just perfect for you, you know. But like it again, it all kind of ties into Himmel too, because like Frieren really uses, and like whenever she starts, you know, remembering thing again, the meme is, you know, what would Himmel do? You know, here's how Himmel would have done this. You know, it always goes back to him, and he's used as this example to be like, okay, this is how we can learn and grow from our characters. So yeah, I would go with Himmel from Frieren with this.
I'm gonna keep it simple. Mine is Jinshi from season 1. He was a good supporting character, if you know, because he always helped our main character Mama find the clues, get her where she needs to go, and then it was a good supporting cast. So that's my answer. Keep it simple. Crash, what's yours?
How much it surprised me and Whawkins are on the same boat today. I actually thought we were gonna be opposite. I have Fern. Believe it or not, Fern was just the goat for me.
Word.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love Fern.
Word.
All right, so
Her reactions are amazing for me.
all right, for next
Oh
one
my
is
God, yeah.
must protect at all costs character. We have Anya, Firion, Okaru, Yuki, Tokiyuki from Cloverworks project that I cannot see. Oh, Elusive Samurai. Elusive
Elusive
Samurai.
Samurai.
Yep.
And Senshi from The Listen Dungeon. I'm gonna keep a simple mind. Anya Forger.
You're crazy. This is the
Mother
second
free-
year in a row
It's
they
Mother
have put
Free.
Anya. No, you guys are wrong. Okaru,
Get
that's
that.
my boy. Come on, you got to protect his balls at all
You know,
costs.
I get
gentlemen.
that. I get that.
Well,
I'll give you that.
he has
one.
one golden ball.
Mother Freerin is right there,
Mother Firion has to be protected at all costs. You're right.
especially in the mornings.
Oh yes. She
Definitely
must
the
wake up,
morning.
or else she's gonna take another day to leave.
But let's get into the argument that we have, because we're last year on our last 5 segments. I mean, last 5 categories before we end our show, and we have the best anime song. Abyss from Kaiju number 8, Level from Solo Leveling, Bing Bang Boom Born from
Mashle.
from Crappy Nuts, and we also have Otanoko from Crappy Nuts, and Fatal. I don't know this series. Which one's this? Oshinoko season 2,
Yeah.
and The Brave from Fierin. And I'm gonna give it. This one's tough. It's either between for me Solo Leveling, Danadon, or Bing Bang Boom. It's either of those three for me.
I will tell you guys real quick. I actually had to research and listen back to these OPs, the original, every single one of them.
And those which one you chose?
I ended up doing Dandadan because, believe it or not, if it wasn't Dandadan, it was going to be Oshinoko Fatal. And I had said this before, not on the podcast, but way before with my other friends. I had said Dandadan and Oshinoko are going to compete for these two, and I was right. I actually called it on the money that they were going to be competing for the Crunchyroll Awards. Dandadan has 56 million views for the OP on YouTube. Fatal only has 2 million on YouTube. That's a big difference in of it. Everyone was listening to this.
And how about Level from season 1 from Solo Leveling?
You know, I want to say $1.5 million, 1.5 million, something like that, if I remember correctly, because I did listen to that as well too. Let me just make sure. While you guys tell me what you're I'll find out.
It's the Dandadan song for best anime song, at least. When we get to best opening, I have a different opinion on that one. But
yeah, me too.
For best anime song, I believe from
9.1 million. Excuse me, 9.1 million.
So yeah, from Crunchyroll itself, it is 9.1 million. If you count other sources, because there's other songs being repeated, then it's 4.2, then 9.5. But for Crunchyroll itself is 9.1. Look, Crunchyroll Solo Leveling song level is really good, but the only reason I don't have it that high is because I love the OST of Arise better. The OST of Arise, it literally just look, I'm about to go to gym. I'm planning to go back to the gym soon, and I'm gonna use that song. Like I'm about to just say Arise, like I'm about to do this bench press, these deadlifts is all gain, and that's it. Like all gas, no brakes. But yes, Otonoke for Creepy Nuts for me is my song for this one. All right, best score. What you got?
I got
Bleach.
The music throughout it, reorchestrated shit, so good, fits every single tone.
All right, I have Solo Leveling for this for me on my end for best score. So next one we got best opening sequence.
That's gonna be tough for me.
I feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah, done enough. Here, I have done enough for this one.
Okay. Got Don. What have you got, Vash?
Opening sequence. The visuals. I love the visuals of Danada, but I also, I have to give it to Dan. I love the visuals. I remember when me and Crash were watching together a few times. I love when the switch of the melody just switches in the middle and just gets more like it's just so smoothly, and I loved it. So to me, Danada gets my vote for this.
Since this is the opening sequence and it includes both music and visuals, and I already talked about Dandadan, I'm giving this one to the One Piece opening, Us. dude.
Haven't heard
the
us.
fucking visual. Look up this when we're done here. Look up opening 26. And the visuals along with the song, it's One Piece at its core, especially after the Gear 5 shit. It is phenomenal what they did with this opening. Like and again, I love the Don to Don opening.
I remember when it comes to visual,
Mhm.
I will give this to One Piece. When it comes to visual opening sequence, yes, my
Yeah.
apologies. I do give it to One Piece. I remember I haven't seen it fully because at the time I wasn't still watching, so I chose not to.
Oh yeah.
But opening 26 compared to all these, the visuals, even when the whole One Piece crew, the old Straw Hat crew was walking down and you see the visuals of all their outfits of all over the years. That was a
Just
beautiful
goes through
transition.
time.
It was so beautifully. The frame rate was amazing. So I agree. I appreciate
the cuts
for that.
between like it's just really, it's the whole sequence is really good.
All right, so we got the next one involving music, the best ending sequence.
I'll read it off. We have Alicia's gonna read it off.
Yeah.
All right. I have nobody from Kaiju number 8. Like I said, Rome Republic made a great ending for that. It was so like I would probably listen to that on Apple Music, honestly, even just as an OP. And the way it looked, like, you know, the scientist girl like kind of stretching, she has to work her ass up, but like you see like the little photographs of all the, you know, everyone on the crew. It was heartwarming for me. I loved watching it over and over again. That was probably one of the only ending sequences I didn't skip out in that season.
I have to give it to Kaiju number 8 since I do not remember the other 5 requests or A1 pictures. I don't remember requests from Solo Leveling, and I'm not seeing Ranma, Oshinoko, and Elusive Samurai. Done ending. I don't remember too much, so that must mean it was not. It didn't hook me in.
That's the one with Turbo Granny.
Yeah. With
Turbo Granny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely give it to Kaiju number 8 nobody because I do remember listen to One Republic for that one. All right, our last two categories of the evening of this is the best voice artist performance Japanese. We got. What you got, guys?
I have Ayo Yuki.
Yeah.
She is one of my top 4. You know, she plays mommy in Rent a Girlfriend series. You know, I gotta support her for that. But she played a good Mao. Like, honestly, like let's just be real. Like, phenomenal job. And even now for season 2, phenomenal job. I have no complaints for her.
Word. I don't have any opinion because I didn't watch any of these anime subbed, so
I have to also give it to the sub for Mao. She was really good out of this list. I have to also give it to her. When it comes to Danadan of Momo and for Okarun, they were cool. But the way you voiced Mao and actually heard her when she was mad, pissed, or you heard the expression was very well executed, and I still listen to this day. With Mao, I hear the sub when I watch it with to review off the bench, but I also check out the dub with Wifey. So talking about dubs, our last category is the best voice artist performance of English. We have Dan H.O. Becca, Alex Lee, who plays Sung Jin Woo, not gonna pronounce her name, but you know, Alaya sometimes can't speak in Russian. Firin,
Sarah.
yeah, like Sarah Natosheni. Hopefully, I pronounced her name right.
Yeah,
and Song Won Cho, who plays Senshi in Diligent Dungeon. I'm gonna say my vote is the voice actor of Sung Jin Woo, Alex Lee, because I've been waiting to hear the dub voice for Arise. I have heard it in the beginning of the show. I say wakey wakey, erect. All these jokes, he said it during his recording reel, and it was funny. So that's my vote for the show. How about you guys?
I'm probably gonna go with Mallory Rodek as Freerin because she has such a calming, warm voice for Freerin. She does a really good job in that role, and I mean, some people might not like it and all that, or like not like the almost monotoneness that she could do with the voice, but I think it really fits Freerin in a way that it doesn't make it feel boring, at least to me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
This is gonna be a very crazy twist for the final one.
Ooh.
I have Sarah Nako Kenny for Alia. I have actually, and I have said it before, I've actually talked shit about this lady before with Whawkins. I mean, with Vash, excuse me. Because you know, as somebody who lives in New York, I know a lot of Russian women and her accent does not match, a Russian girl, in high school. But that being said, I'll give props where it is, where she did try her very best with her Russian translation. I have to give credit where it's due, and I love the anime overall, so I'm gonna give it to her. Because if it wasn't for her, if nobody had said Solo Leveling, I would have gone with Alex, and I only know about him because of Bash, what he was saying about the jokes. I have only learned about him recently. If it wasn't for that, I would have done Sarah anyways. But I'm gonna give it out to Alia. I think she deserves to win.
All right, so this is the end of our show. We did a good 20 categories on our end, on my end, because of things that could evolve. So I don't know about you guys. You guys probably did 22 or 20, because I did skip a few that I couldn't really vote because I want to be honest about it. So out of 20, I downloaded my picture, the horizontal and vertical. So for those that haven't seen this show, we will also post on social media before the awards come, so you guys can also see our picture formatted way. But this was the end of our show. What do you guys think? Our Crunchyroll Awards and Nintendo conversation of the show.
It's probably gonna be a lot of Don for that Anime Awards. So just be ready for that, everybody. Because again, this is a Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and they do have their favorites, even despite it's fan voted. They'll make sure some things go forward. But yeah, when it comes to Nintendo just do better. We love you. Just do better.
How about you, Crash?
My advice to the viewers, to chat, the initiates, is patience is a virtue. Wait for good deals for Nintendo Switch. If your person that you voted for didn't win, there's always next year. And in the eyes of Boss Man Vash, get good if you're not good at games, because patience is a virtue.
That's crazy, Chet. You heard it here. Get good. On my end, Chet, look, this was the Crunchyroll Awards. We have done this every year. We will also review them when the time comes, when the May 25th, because that's most likely a Sunday or Monday. I don't know what this. What is May 25th? Because I keep forgetting when's my birthday. May 25th. Sunday. Oh, so that's a Sunday, May 25th. That's perfect. So we will probably record that that Tuesday, and then have the coverage out that Wednesday. So you guys will definitely check it out by then, because I believe they're doing it again in Japan. I believe the Crunchyroll Awards, or they're doing it here again in the US.
Let me check. I didn't even look at it. I just saw when it was happening. Crunchyroll Awards.
It'll happen regardless.
Yeah, it will happen regardless wherever it is. You guys could we will let you guys know when it comes to the coverage, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. There will always be time codes in the bottom below of the description, and like we said earlier, that for Off the Bench, if you want to hear more of the weekly coverage, the bench stuff that we're doing as a team, go check out that show, because that's more anime in the weekly coverage, and we hear more of a conversational. We talk about pop culture media like we did for Snow White, Nintendo Switch news, and also the Crunchyroll Awards that we always have done coverage for every single year. But without further ado, this has come to the conclusion of our show, because we already passed the 2-hour mark of our usual standard. But since we went overtime, we're just going to keep it simple, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight and taking the time to listen in. The Anime Podcast is presented by AniMa We Studio. Production team is Vash, Whawkins, Rome, jokes as usual. Special thanks to our producers. Don't forget to follow our social media down below as AniMa We Studio, Legend D Vash, Whawkins MW. Crash, you can follow him on Discord, because that's where he's always at and posting the threads and the social media stuff. And as always, we appreciate you to share this episode, like it, comment down below, and give us feedback. Let us know what you thought of this episode. You guys is what makes the show and help us succeed. On behalf of everyone at Anime We Studio, we thank you for joining us in the Anime Podcast. We see you on the next one. Like they said earlier, get good and go watch Our Particular Diaries. Mamau, don't touch the frog.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't see it. Oh, you don't know about the frog. You don't know about the frog.
Frog?
I love that reaction. Great reaction. Great way to end the show. Bye.
You're welcome. Oh, hell yeah.